You're aiming for a wick fill, huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna mute everyone, and then you can unmute yourself. Yeah, wick fill basically. I'm like, if this closes bullish, then I'm expecting the next 30-minute to continue moving up as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the game plan.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, just looking at GJ here, the daily is bullish, 4 hours bullish. The 1 hour is so far bullish. Yeah, just looking at GJ here, the daily is bullish, 4 hours bullish. What the fuck is that? And 15-minute just closed bullish. You know, so this increases the chances of the next 15-minute to continue moving up at least till 140, 400, which is 10 pips. If it goes more to fill the wick, that's like 20 pips. So let's see what happens. Got a nice 7 pip stop here. So first time making it. Good morning. It's freaking 4:45. Oh, welcome. Am I currently in this trade? Yes, I am in this trade. Expecting this 15-minute to respect the low of the previous one and then continue moving bullish. And that's going to turn the 30-minute bullish. And that's going to turn the next one bullish. So, you know, first I want this 15-minute to go bullish. Oh wow, gold flew in last minute. Gold wasn't flying like earlier.
Gold did a nice fake out on the 15-minute.
Oh, I might get stopped out over here. That's alright. Oh, the previous 1 hour closed with no wick at the top. And this current 1 hour is about to close. Oh, let's see. Wow, man, this thing is still going. Gold. It's approaching this resistance here. If gold respects this range, this is awesome. Because if gold respects this range, then with FOMC it has this whole range to fill. This entire complete range at 1505. So, you know, when they're going to cut the rates, what's going to happen is that when the rates are cut, the news is going to be as expected, right? Because they're expecting the rate cut. So when the rates are cut, that's going to drop gold. And then in the next session, gold's going to start to rally up back to 1505. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Oh, and GJ is moving here now. 15-minute flip bullish. Beautiful.
Good morning, Raja.
Hey, how are you?
You're long, DJ.
Yeah.
I was thinking of getting long right now.
Well, price is at my entry.
Yeah, I know.
What's this? Do you think GU is bullish? Why do people ask that question? Do you think? Do you think my coffee is hot? I mean, ask. I mean, it's so stupid questions. Do you think this is bullish? Do you think this will go down? Ask educated questions. Hey, this is what I see. This is my chart. Do you think this chart makes sense? That's a good question.
We don't think we see.
Yeah. Just like waking up first thing in the morning and asking, oh, is GU bullish? You can't even open your eyes straight. You know, so first step is to open the chart and send the chart.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Vincent.
How are you, bro?
Good.
Hey, what's up, Rakeel?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you, man?
Good, good. Man, so much stuff happened today. Got ADP, CAD rates, FOMC. God damn.
Yeah, today is gonna be
Today is a wild, wild day.
tough day.
See, a 30-minute, if this closes bullish, or even like this in the next 9 minutes, the next, oh shit, okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Bro, it moved 2 pips, man, not
This
even 2
15
pips.
minutes bounced from bearish to bullish. So
waiting support of 15 minutes. So you should feel the range.
Should be an easy first trade here.
That's your talk on you're gonna talk about.
See stuff like that? Cable is seeing leading gains as cable challenges near key term resistance. They failed to mention that cable will also get affected by FOMC and ADP. Man, gold will respect 1495 and 1485 down here. This is a big range gold is going to play in, this 100 pip range. Doing great, doing great. EJ. EJ also has some resistance here. Resistance? EJ's on some resistance. 30 minutes looking good. This is a take profit song, you know. GJ to fill the wick of 1475. GJ does not have the price 1475. Maybe in the near future when pound is really strong we can get to 1475. But even if we look on the monthly here, if we look on the monthly, 1475 is way up over here. 1475. This is 1475 on GJ. That's a lot of pips away. So we're gonna talk about the wick fill at 1475 once it gets there. throat. Ooh, what's this? GJ, 30 minutes. Buy above 143.90, TP1 over here. Perfect. This looks good. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We are pushing.
Just 5.
Yeah, man. 5
Yeah.
picks up.
Just 5 minutes. Ooh.
Wow, in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on, give me
Come on,
push
dude.
before you close that one out.
Come on. 15 minutes.
Minute?
Come on, get a move on, mate.
Yeah. We close about what, 50-minute range. There
Now-
we go.
Awesome.
How do I close positions on this tablet? I'm trading from a
Come on,
tablet.
little motherfucker.
It's gonna fill the wick.
Yeah.
Wank cat.
Little one. Good morning, Kevon.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
47, Kevon. That's your call.
Yeah, I already took buys already on G.
Yeah, I'm in buy too.
Yeah.
Rakeel gave us the signal.
Danny boy is about to hit that 7K rakeel.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. You
Whoa, man. It's incredible.
Man, Q Banks should give him a free seat in one of his sessions. Well, it's his thing, so.
know, I think the way he trades, I think he's a momentum trader. He only goes for wick fills. That's what I've been noticing.
Man, you saw his trade last night in Asian?
No.
Oh, that was a really good trade. I saw it, he took buys, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a win. And he won that trade.
What's up? Morning.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, I closed my position. I closed it.
Hey,
Why?
did you see the girl that turned 3K to 20K, and he's like, no, I'm not giving my money to a scalper.
Yeah, because that's aggressive.
Dude, the other guy's trading with no stops, no take profits, and that's not aggressive.
Well, I did reach out to Danny boy. He said he's monitoring his trades. So he said every position that's been open, he's monitoring them. That's why he don't put a stop loss or take profit in.
Maybe.
Come on, boy.
Yeah.
Come on, GJ.
Yeah. That's a good trade. Head fly.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Twang.
Once I close out this trade, I'm not taking any more trades for today.
Nice.
I just
You're
feel
a
like
disciplined guy.
I just feel like the market's gonna consolidate.
I like what gold's doing right now, pushing up. Because if they do get the rate drop today, that would make sense why they would push it up all day. Get a little bit of premium price before it just rolls over.
Oh, I think it's gonna be
36, yeah.
stuck in this range here.
Yeah, but at least push it up a little bit, and it didn't continue to drop down. Like, if it continued dropping from yesterday, that would make me a little bit weary about the cut today. And I mean, if the cut actually was going to happen, right? Because why would they push the price down before an event like that?
Yeah.
But we retraced the whole move yesterday. We retraced it, so like, pretty nice to see. Man, I built a computer yesterday.
How was it?
It was infuriating at times.
What did you build? In what processor?
I used a Ryzen 7 2700.
Oh, the new one.
No, it's a previous model of it.
Okay.
But they had it on sale for $220.
That's
Like,
cheap,
that's
man.
Yeah,
So
it's a pretty
Ryzen
good
7,
price.
that's
Yeah, I know, so I had to do it.
they forced you.
Well, no, my computer was kind of dying out on me, so I needed to build one anyways, but
32 gigs of RAM.
no, I only got 16. But 16 is more than I need anyways, so
Yeah.
it's all good on that front. Like 8, I could do with 8 gigs, to be honest with you.
Nowadays, the minimum I would recommend is 16.
Yeah, I just went with the 16 because it was like an extra $10 on top, like for the 8 gigs. So I was like, what makes more sense to have it and not need it than need it not have it, right?
Exactly.
Oh, nice, Chris.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it. One I've been working on a week, basically.
Yeah.
Something
Chris,
called it, I guess.
trade with Monty.
Yeah, you know.
Oh man, I've been following you.
Are you following me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my many, like, 100 followers.
See, this is where you should be protecting your profits right here, because
Oh, yeah. I've already closed this morning. I had 2 entries from 140 and I closed at about 400.
yeah,
So now I make all my trades now break even.
yeah, because basically it's filled this range now. So now you wanna let your runner do the dirty work.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've got 2 more entries at whatever am I? 140, 130, and one at 140, 200. Well, just about 200. But they're both in profit now, so I'll leave them to run.
Chris Jordan, if GJ goes up, shouldn't gold go down? Why?
Yeah.
You need to provide some analysis, like why do you think that's going to happen, or should that happen? Because that statement makes absolutely no sense at all. That's a wrong statement. Gold is not correlated with GJ, because if you look at gold has XAUUSD in it, and GBP JPY. So they have nothing in common, nothing at all in common. So logically, they are not correlated. It's because of USD and JPY. No, man. There's no argument there. Ooh, someone's in EJ buys. Nice. See, I'd be careful about this resistance here on EJ at 121.100.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 4-hour resistance which was respected on the 24th. So there's a high chance it might get respected here again.
Yeah, it's very similar to how GJ's got that set up now, that 4-hour resistance level.
See, so now for GJ to continue moving, it should respect the previous candle's low and then essentially should create a high here and then head up to this wick over here.
If you look at that on the 4-hour, actually, you can see there's a I was looking on 4 hours. Yeah,
Oh yeah, the wick fill.
yeah. Because it closed above as well, so well on mine actually.
Yeah, it should potentially fill the wick. Same wick fill here on the 30
That's
minute
it.
too.
Yeah, man.
Man, I had an allergic reaction to something last night and woke up with Kylie Jenner lips this morning.
Ooh, allergic reaction to what?
I'm not sure. Like, I've been waiting on my referral to the allergist. But yeah, I woke up with these like completely swollen lips.
Oh,
Oh,
duck lips.
Yeah, man. Kylie Jenner lips, like legitimate.
People pay a lot of money for that.
I get it for free and don't even want it. It's alright though. My girlfriend's a nurse, so if I stop breathing or something, I'm good.
What's your thoughts on FOMC? FOMC, I think it's just gonna range here till now. Till FOMC, like you got ADP data, which you're expecting to be bad. Last time when that happened was it didn't really move much. Like gold didn't really like it dropped down a little bit, but then that was it. They're expecting bad data. They're also waiting to cut the rates too. So I don't think the ADP is gonna move much. You know, because all the volatility is going to be saved for FOMC. So when the news does come out, there's going to be a knee-jerk reaction to the downside on gold. And then later on, I mean, I think gold should come down to 1487 to 1486 for liquidity, and then continue to go up in the next session and fill this range here above 1496, 95. Either
Also,
way,
GDP data coming out at 8:30.
yeah. Either way, I think this range is going to get filled.
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be very nice.
On the last rate cut, they pushed price up to the, I think it was that week's high before it completely rolled over. So
Yeah.
I guess it would make sense for them to push it back up into that range to like 1507 to 1510 before the cut. I mean, I don't think they're gonna have enough time today to really push it all the way back up into like the 1515 area, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So far, it's just speculation.
Oh yeah.
You know,
the higher it goes up, the better the fall will be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna host a session 2 at that time.
Morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, I'm not trading, man. There's too much going on today.
Yeah, good idea.
Too much news, too much Brexit. I'm good, bro.
Looks like Canada's gonna keep their rate steady at 1.75. Yeah, that's the thing. I was talking to somebody about that, the Canadian rates, and they were talking about how they might cut the rates. You know, last time they raised the rates after 6 months of US raising their rates, and that rise, I think that was September 2017. That rise in rates, that was as like a surprise. Like, it wasn't expected. It wasn't like, oh yeah, we're raising the rates. It just came out of nowhere. It was just a speculation that they will be raising the rates. So same thing goes for CAD. I mean, it's been almost 6 months now since the US cut their rates the last time, and CAD normally follows whatever US does.
Due. I think it's due myself.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't live there, but I would expect it to be very soon.
Oh yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Let's see what happens at 10 a.m.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite car brand? I'm not into cars. I'm not into car brands or cars. I like computers. Computers. Yeah. Computers and video games. Like, if I like a nice car, I'll just rent it for like a week and just drive that, have fun with it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to just buy one. I have a buddy. He bought a, like, you know, like he's in sales. 2 years ago, his bonus check for 6 months was like around $150,000, and he bought the S class. I think it was the S550. And he's like, man, and after 2 months, he's like, you know what? This is just a car.
Yep. It's always the same. You get bored after a while.
Yeah, he's like, man, it's just a car. I'm like, yeah. He's like, looks good, but it's just a car.
I'm the same. I'll buy something I think I really like it and I think, oh, that's good. But after 6 months, 3 months, I'm like, man, I'm bored of it now.
I did that with my truck, man. Same thing.
As long as it does the job, man, you just got to get...
Oh, trucks are different than cars, I think.
Well, the thing was that I had a Kia. It was really cheap. I spent like 20 grand for it, which was kind of sweet because it was like so inexpensive and gas was like nothing on it, right? And then I had a good job, so I was like, oh, I want to go back and get another truck. So I ended up just buying the truck that I always wanted. And for the first bit, I was like super pumped up about it, and now I'm just like, oh man, I should have saved money with the Kia.
Wow, Gigi's coming back in this range. So take a look at this. This range here, this range was from day before yesterday. Yesterday we broke down in London, came back in pre-New York, formed support, and in New York we broke up again. And then later in New York, we came back down in the same range. In this same range. And then this morning we broke up, and now, you know, we're trying to form this new range here. So there's no trade.
I think it's kind of making a 15-minute support where it is right now, to be fair. I've been watching that for a little while now. But
yeah.
That's definitely in that range, obviously, yeah.
Are you fan GJ? Yes, I'm a fan of GJ.
Your love GJ.
Who's that? Okay, someone sent a chart. Very nice. I like seeing charts. Let's see here. Ooh, what's this? What the? This is German DAX, right? Yeah, 30-minute kind of close above resistance. Bullish. Yeah, I think your first target should be over here, this one. Or maybe even this one here. But this is just too far off. I mean, you should have some sort of a trading plan as price goes towards this main target of this price here. Do you trade below the 1 hour time frame? No, actually I trade all the time frames. It's important to understand all the time frames, the way they're moving. See EJ? So now we're going to do some top-down analysis on EJ. EJ formed support on the 4 hour. No, actually EJ 4 hour is going bearish. So we look, where is it going bearish from, right? That's resistance. We're like, okay, this is resistance. And of course it went up to resistance. So we see, okay, it came up from support, right? So we're going to look for support. So maybe this is support here, 12900. So we're going to draw support over here. Now we got resistance and we got support. And we measured this range. This is a 20 pip range. And then you ask yourself, after you turn around and you ask yourself, and you're like, hey, can we trade in this range, 20 pip range? And the answer is going to be no. No, you can't. You can't, son. You can't. You either trade once price breaks support at 12900, or it breaks resistance at 121,100. Because then your target is up over here if it breaks resistance, and maybe a target could be like down here if it breaks support. But so far, yeah, see, right down there. So far there's no trade on EJ. Maybe have a, so now let's talk about buy stops and sell stops. Maybe you can have a buy stop at 121.120 or a sell stop at 128.70, just to catch it as it drops. Trading inside these tight ranges, I mean, how many pips are you gonna, how do you know the price is gonna go up? Because if you take a trade inside this range, there's a 50-50 chance price is gonna go up and 50-50 chance price is gonna go down. But once price breaks support, there's a higher chance it will continue down, and if it breaks resistance, there's a higher chance it's gonna continue up. And spin alongs to 14600 only if price closes above 143.50. Yeah, this is perfect, Gonzo. I'd go with that. Ooh, he just dropping. Can a sell stop work at 128.70? Will the fundamental news affect EJ? Yep. Yes, sir. Ooh, nice close on GJ. This will be a 20 pip drop. 20 pip drop or a, oh, almost a 20 pip rise here too. You are very good at closing trades. Yes. Where's the Zoom link in Forex Fam site? It's there, I posted it. Oh, no one can see it? Oh, I don't know why I posted it. I'll post it again. There. Posted it again. But if you take sell on EJ, isn't that counter trend? Excellent question. So it's not counter trend when you're following market structure, right? It's ranging. If price breaks support, there's a high chance it could come down, because if you look left, there's little traffic and there's a clean range going down till 120, 620 or 600. So that's how you map out your trade. Then you don't worry about if the monthly trend is up or the daily trend is up, because you have to understand smaller time frames are going to change the trend on the higher time frames. But the trend change happens on the smaller time frames first. You know, like little by little. I think GJ is gonna come down here too, the way it's forming, kind of like it did this resistance, and I don't know, I'm just talking out of my ass, but it seems like it come down. So it's more important there's profit room. Yes. Profit room, excellent, because if you take a trade in this range, you have the ability to catch maybe, you know, so this range is 20 pips, right? When you're marking up ranges, this is a 20 to 25 pip range, so you're like, okay, perfect. If this is a 20 to 25 pip range, I can easily grab, let's say, 15 pips, right? Easily 10 to 15 pips, you can say you can easily grab, and that's going to be your profitable trade. Taking a buy right now would be very risky because candles are bearish. Taking a sell right now would also be very risky because, you know, candle hasn't broken support yet. But having a sell stop maybe at 128.90, no, 70, or even 128.60 would be pretty good. Because that way you're catching that in momentum. And then your stop can be in the middle of this zone, which can be like around 10 pips. That's a great idea. Price broke resistance, wait for retest. Would be safe buys targeting 1500. JC, that's right. That's kind of what I have here too. So far it's continuing here. Yeah, I think this 15 minutes is going to continue. The way it's forming. Even the 30 minute, yeah, 30 minutes is going to continue here too. At least till 1494, 1495 maybe. The dollar is pretty weak as well, so you know it makes sense. Like it's a little weak. The euro is also weak, so this drop should make sense here too. What the pre-markets are doing. The pre-markets are positive, not a lot positive, just like, you know, kind of rangy, break even, let's say. And that makes sense because we got a lot of news here pretty soon. God damn, look at this. Look at this. You got ADP. What's before ADP? Oh. ADP, then you got GDP, and then you got, man, lots of stuff happening today. Rates, and then you got press conference. Two things are going to move gold a lot. There's going to be the rates, and then there's going to be the press conference. Guys, I'm on Euro USD sell. Very nice, my friend. Euro USD sell. Good job. What's your strategy? Once it breaks support, do you enter right away, or you wait for the 15-minute to close, or do you wait for the hook on the support? Well, the first thing you do is you identify where your stop loss is going to be. So whenever I take a trade, I'm looking to see where my stop loss is going to be. Let's say if I'm going to try to take a sell on GJ right over here, right? So I'm going to say, okay, well, my stop has to be above this candle, which is going to be around 6 pips. And then if my stop is 6 pips here, then maybe I can target what? Maybe target down till here, which is going to be another like 6, 7, 8 pips. So first of all, you're identifying your stop loss, and then you're taking the trade. Identifying stop loss is the most important thing.
I, John Gerald Kennedy, do solemnly swear that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. And will, to the best of your ability. And will, to the best of my ability.
But trading when news come really risky. Not only that it moves so fast sometimes, your MT4 tend to freeze. Yep, that's true. MT4 freezes, your orders get slipped, your stops get slipped, all kinds of fuckery happens when there's news.
There we go. Morning.
Hey, morning.
Hello, morning.
Raja, would you say now that GJ made a low wick, the chances just went up significantly to go down on the 15-minute? Yes, and also basically what I'm looking at is now on GJ that it's just ranging. You know, now this is the resistance it created, and this is the support where it went up from. And then there's another range down over here. So now GJ gets very hard to trade. Remember yesterday was so easy, created support and just went up? That's what we want on GJ. Right now it's just really hard to trade GJ.
Hey, Rakeel, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
I had a question about GJ.
Oh yeah.
If it closes the way it does right now,
Which time frame?
yeah, the 30-minute time frame that you're looking at right now. If it closes the way like it is right now, it could go to the downside because it has a sort of support
Yep.
that it created,
Yep.
and if it closes below that support,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like,
Can I draw on it?
this support, yeah.
Just a moment. Yes, this area right here. If it closes below this resistance, then it could go to the downside, right?
Yep. Exactly. That's right. But then this downside was very limited. I mean, it was like 10, 11 pips. Oh, shit. See? In the last seconds, it reversed. Do you see that?
Yeah, man.
Wow, what a manipulation over there. Literally, in the last 2 seconds, this thing flipped back up.
Dude.
That was unexpected. They love to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, see, it closed with no wick on the top, so this tells me there's no range for this candle to go up. Yeah, see, the 30-minute closed above that support, and this one is pushing down. It's a mess. It's so hard to say where it's going to go now. Okay, someone sent a chart. But Raphael, like, the idea was right. Like, I was looking at the same thing.
Yes. I also took some trades today. I will send you my analysis on it later today.
Oh, please. Yes, send it.
Yes. Yesterday I didn't really took any trades, so I couldn't do an analysis. But today I took trades.
Oh, nice.
I will send it to you.
Perfect. What's this? Gold. Stop loss a little above the resistance. Entry was here. TP1. Oh, perfect. Very nice trade. Fuck, man. People send the same chart twice. Next time I'm not going to open your charts. Send it twice. Okay, what's this? Ooh, EJ. Support. Sell stop. Nice. Assuming candle close around here. Well, yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice sell stop. Below support. TP is good. Stop loss is good. Stop loss idea is good. See, this I can read and it makes sense to me. When someone sends a chart with an arrow drawn, that makes no sense. That's like me saying, okay guys, we have EJ over here and this is the trade. Perfect. So we're gonna wait for this trade now. So this makes no sense. I mean, someone's gonna come on the stream and they'll say, is this guy a retard? What does that arrow mean? You know, so that's what I think when you send me charts with just one arrow.
GJ, sorry. Wow, GJ.
Oh, GJ is in this range here.
It's respecting that support as well.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested in GJ if it breaks above 143.50.
Yes.
I think it will, man. When did your 4-hour close actually? Is your 4 hours slightly different to mine?
No, it closes at 9.
Depends on the broker also.
Yeah, I was just thinking, mate, I think I'm on a different one, that's all.
Yeah.
Because my previous 4 hour closed above all the other 4s, and I see it now as a wick fill for the next one.
Oh, 4 hour doesn't matter.
Oh no, not when you're playing in this range. Like
oh
this.
yeah.
But I was just using it as a base for continuation.
Yeah, if I'm gonna trade GJ, I might have now a buy stop at like 143.70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's holding good support, 200 level, which is.
Yeah.
But that is middle of your range as you see it. So, yeah. I mean, I was in obviously under an open, so that's a lot further down. So it's not too bad at the minute, but
it's doing the same thing it did yesterday.
Yes.
It'll pop up there, 8 o'clock it'll pull all the way back down, and then we'll start our ascent all the way back up.
Yeah, morning.
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning, Ted.
Morning.
You explained it an awful lot better than me.
Yeah, like if you got in right now, I'd probably exit, or I'd probably place my stops. Just like I would exit probably over here if I got in over here, but I didn't. But then now this basically becomes your little area where we'll probably dip back down, maybe dip down into here,
Yeah.
and then start to ride up. But the good thing is, if anywhere over here or over here in the next hour we create support again, then you know to start taking buys. You can take them here.
I mean, when you see it on 15 minutes, it created good support at 140 and 140, 200, and it's like that step motion we were saying yesterday.
Yeah.
How it's kind of, you can see how it's coming bit by bit.
Tony, those zones are just where support is, or resistance is. You can see where we have.
Playing with JJ as is right now. I don't know if this is gonna give us a chance to get in that dip.
Yeah. I have a buy stop at 143.70.
Yeah, that should be activated before this hour close.
Yeah. My phone broke, so I'm using a tablet.
Oh, thank God. Thank God your phone got broken.
Yeah.
Is that why the sound was funny yesterday?
No. Was the sound funny yesterday?
Rakeel, what happened to your S10, man?
I know, man. That cheap shit already
It's
broke.
a chip phone.
Come on, man.
No, man.
Samsung should send you a new one.
Yeah, these grown-up phones, man.
Yeah, it was my son. He fucked it up.
Oh, yeah.
He
You
got
should buy your son a Xiaomi or something cheap like that, so he can play with it.
Man, he was watching those dumbass cartoons called Blippi.
Yeah, my son loves it too.
Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah.
I turned the phone off and he waited for me to put the phone on the table. He went there and he smashed it. The screen broke, so now I gotta buy a new one today.
Yeah, don't replace the screen, man. That's gonna cost a lot.
Like how much? 130?
I know, but here in Spain we can pay around $300.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Damn.
That's
300,
rough,
man. Is an
dude.
S10, man.
Wow.
A screen goes for 150, dude.
Yeah, I was
It's an
going
S10,
150.
man.
Depends on the parts, though. If you go with like an OEM screen from like an actual manufacturer, it'll cost you more. Like I had to replace the screen on a Note 8. It cost me $450, but it didn't void my warranty for the phone because it was a
Exactly.
Samsung authorized
Dealer.
So my warranty was still intact, and it was an actual OEM Samsung screen. So
The thing is that they've got curves on the side, so that makes them more expensive.
Yes.
yeah, and it's like a quad HD panel too, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's just Sammy, Mr. Sammy. Sammy Smooth, your mic is not smooth. Alright. Best Forex broker for Canadians with Wanda. Yeah, well, you answered your own question. Okay. Nothing really going on. Oh, okay. Gold is heading up towards this resistance here. Man. Today is going to be a wild, wild ride. I'm thinking of just pushing the live till FOMC. I think we could.
Hey, that would be blessed.
That'd be blessed.
That'd be lit.
Yeah, lit fam. Oh, what's this? GP CAD buy stop. Makes sense. Buy stop target with cat. Yeah, this makes sense. I think this.
In 2020, if you say the word lit, you're gonna get kicked off Forex family.
I'm found.
Oh.
Raquel,
Yo.
you the kind of way you say all kinds. That's from the twins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Hodge twins are hilarious.
I used to watch
Yeah.
all their videos
Yeah, me too, man.
about
They're funny, man.
nutrition and steroids and everything. If you trade gold at FOMC, you're gonna get fucked all kinds of ways.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, the Hodge twins.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, look at this. See, if you bought right here, GJ, you automatically got in drawdown because this is resistance.
Yep.
I bought at 50-minute support.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I bought it at 25.
Nice.
All kinds.
We're gonna get all kinds of gains. See, now if this is pushing up, you know, if this support is getting respected and this is pushing up, if you look on the 1 hour, the 1 hour hasn't really gone bullish, so this could make sense that if this 15-minute pushes up, the 1 hour is going to go bullish and we might get this wick fill. So we're waiting with the buy stop.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get the 4-hour wick fill first. That's around 4, I think.
Yeah,
Or 8.
yeah, that's the same idea.
Thank you, beta.
TCAT. What's this? Honestly, I don't run the site, so I couldn't tell you why they interpreted that that way. What were they talking about? Uncle Ted, I do agree with your statement, but there is actual greater than forecast is good for currency, meaning above currency. How come? Yeah, Ted doesn't run the website, so he doesn't know. Put sell stops on GJ. 136 is coming. Man, like, you know, when people have these wild ideas, like 136 is coming. 136 is far, far, far away.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna sell right now and you're gonna hold till 136, I will come and shake your hand personally. I will fly out there wherever you are and I will shake your hand. But I highly doubt anyone's gonna do that.
I think Ted was offering out Audis yesterday for that.
An Audi?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh
yeah.
shit! Well, there you go. Yeah, I could imagine Ted saying that. I will get you a brand new car if you do that.
I can't remember what he did say something along the lines of that.
Yeah. When you have high interest rates, other countries invest their money to get a return. Lower rates investment in the country. Yes, that's true. The thing about Forex Factory, what I have learned is that if you, like, sometimes, you know, when I used to trade and I would see interest rates being cut and they were, you know, like, if they were expecting them to be cut, I would just think that, okay, that's going to be good for the currency and it should drop. But at times it wouldn't drop. It would, like, you know, go up or whatever. So the way that makes sense is, now if they are looking to cut the rates, and if the rates are cut, so the news comes as expected. They were expecting to be cut, so it's not a surprise. You know, it's good. This is considered as good, which is why you're going to find out in FOMC later on that when the rate cut happens, gold is going to drop. And then everyone will say, oh, why is gold dropping? They cut the rate. Because the news came as expected. And then later on, once the news gets absorbed in the market, when the market realizes, okay, we've cut the rates, this is actually, you know, bad for the currency, then you can see gold popping back up. This happened twice. This happened twice last time. Last time when they cut the rates, and then 3 months before when they cut the rates.
These people talking about, like, these random numbers. It's so stupid when people say like 136 or 138 or stuff like that. Like, where's your stop loss?
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna go to 136, so your stop loss is what, at 144?
Yeah, I was just gonna say about 143.
Yeah, 143, 144. Like, it's just stupid. Like, people make such dumb comments like that, and then they wonder why they lose at trading.
To be fair, like Lyle said, if you plan with 0.01 lots, then
yeah,
you know, it's different.
Hold it forever.
Yeah, that's not going to happen for a long time.
No, gold's going to 1900. Yeah, of course it is.
CAD is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the you have to understand this is important. Think about this way. If you are betting on a sports team, right, and the one sports team, it was an obvious winner, the odds on that sports team would be very bad for you to bet for them to win, because the bookmaker is paying you, is forcing you to pay a premium to secure a potential win. Right? Now, let's say 5 minutes before the game, the star player gets injured, or they get told that they're not playing that game that night. The odds maker will suddenly switch the line to favor the result of that happening. So it's the same thing with trading. When the results come in, if everybody knows the results and they've already been talking about them, it's not going to do much in the market, or it will go the opposite way. The only way that it will change things is if there's a nuance or a twist to the information presented from the government to the institutions. That is how price is usually how the market usually prices in the price, because, or the news actually, because of the fact that everybody's saying the exact same thing and it's not a mystery. The mystery is how the news gets interpreted by the news release. So what I mean by that is how the federal government talks about what they've just done and the interpretation the institutions do with that information. So if the Fed chair comes out and says, hey, we're not changing rates, but we believe that the economy is just going to get crappier, well, that signals to the institutions that there's no confidence in the current economy right now. And as that keeps getting pushed out as a narrative from the federal government, gold will keep pushing up, because now they're saying, well, hey, if this guy who leads the federal chair, or the Federal Reserve, if he has no confidence in what's going on, why should we? Right? So that's the idea. Okay? And at the end of the day, any type of news release, really, you don't have to trade it either. Wait till the aftermath. I think everyone here wants to suddenly be an economist and wants to be an analyst and predict news events, when really it's not necessary to do any predictions. If you want, place a buy stop above a certain key level on a 4-hour time frame or an hourly time frame, and if you're right, it'll get hit and it'll push right through and you'll make money. If not, you're wrong, well, then it goes the opposite way. I mean, I don't think you get paid enough here to try and gamble on the news to say this is what's going to happen because this and this and this. Obviously, there are instances where the news is pretty obvious. When the economy is doing really good, there's really no rate increase. They do the rate increases to slow the economy down. When the economy is doing bad, they reduce rates to stimulate borrowing. So you can sort of peg those. But after a while, when it's the same story over and over again, it gets harder and harder to interpret the news because of the fact that now everyone's pricing that event in. It's obvious. So then it becomes, well, what exactly is going to happen? So, like when you think about it, like today's news releases, I don't think anybody's able to guess direction. It's going to be a heyday for everybody. But you know what? When the market starts moving, you can easily look at your charts and look at like an hour time frame or a 4-hour time frame, and you can be like, hey, we're probably going to that next zone to the left, right? As an example, if we drop, more than likely we're probably going to go to 1485. You can see on the 30-minute or the hourly on gold, there's a huge bunch of candles there that created a zone. If we're going to go up, we're probably going to go to 1500. Why? Because there's a huge zone right there.
Huge zone.
So I mean, that's basically what you speculate. Like you look at it, you can see right away here. If news is going to go up, if news is going to be negative, here you're going to tap right here. It's obvious because look, you can see all that stuff starts to line up. That's all you're doing. You're not trying to be a hero. You're just looking at where price rejected last, and you're just going to those prices. Like that's basically what happens. Price just returns. It always returns back to where it goes. You know, you don't have to say, oh, price is going to go to 1501.20. No, you just look. You look to your left, and you're like, okay, if we go up from here, right, and you see that you have clear traffic here, where do you think you're going to stop at the first point? Probably over here. And then after you keep going, where are you going to stop? Probably over here, and then eventually over here. Why? Because there's candle rejections, right? So what does that tell you? That previously there was an issue at that price level with the price. So when we go back up there, there's going to be an issue. It's the same thing over here, right? When you look, as an example, you look at this candle over here. Then you look over here, and you can see, hey, there's rejections there. You can see over here, you can see there's rejections over here. This is stuff that if you look at the charts every day, you will see the same information being given to you every single day. And you just have to apply your knowledge and just say, hey, if we reject this area here, if we turn around and we say that this area is now rejecting, where is our next area? Probably over here. Why is that our next area? Well, what we do is we look to the left and we see, look, there's a huge rejection point right over there. So chances are, in this area here, we're going to have a bit of problem. But with momentum, we will fill that area because it will just continue to move further up. And then where are we going next? Probably right to here. Why? Because when you look to the left and you see this, you see here, there is no traffic.
Nothing.
There's nothing there. It's an empty space. So because you see that, more than likely, price should drive in the same manner that it did going down here and going up here, or whatever, you know what I mean. Sorry, the wrong way. Let me adjust that before someone criticizes me. Basically, going up here and then going down here, right? That's what we call a clean traffic move.
If that GJ 1 hour can flip, that would be lovely.
Oh yes. Approaching.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what's this? I lost this trade yesterday. Can you prevent this? Yes, let me prevent that loss. Oh, break and retest. Well, you lost this trade because all candles were bearish. That's why you lost this trade. You should have waited for a... I mean, the only thing you had to do was to wait to see if there was a bullish candle formed after this breakup. If there was no bullish candle forming, then there was no retest trade. So what happened? This candle closed back in the range, and then you're like, okay, this move up was probably a fake out, and then price dropped.
Bobby was trying to call a bottom. That's why they lost money on that. Because I think I see what they're doing. The rejection.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, where was it? Up? No, you changed it. Okay. Oh, right here. Yeah, right there. Those two candlesticks, those dojis. They probably thought it was a rejection.
Yes.
So I can understand, but like I wouldn't do that trade.
Yeah, but the most logical thing was to wait for a
bullish
candle.
candle. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Danny's about to win a seat in market fluidity.
Yeah, good.
Danny's almost at 7K.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he had a big day.
He had a big night, man.
Oh yeah, because he's doing $5 lots.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I woke up this morning with that 6,200. I'm like, whoa.
Some good games over the last 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, if you're leveraging your account like that, man, that's quick.
Yeah, big time.
It's
A
pretty
little bit too much for me.
Yeah, that's way too big on a $4,000 account.
That's like 10 times too big.
No stop loss.
Yeah, that could quite easily gone the opposite way real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
fair play, but
yeah, that's what I mean. If it works for you, I mean, I'm happy, but yeah.
I think it's a little bit more luck than judgment, to be fair. But still, result.
So we got ADP coming in 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
That's going to be a little fart. That's it.
My DJ's annoying me now.
The only direction I see ADP going is down, not up. I mean, I don't think we're breaking above 14.95 before FOMC.
I tend to agree with that. I just the way the market structure is. The only problem is 1491, 1492 being a resistance level, or sorry, support. You might find that we might break up to 1497.
From the daily chart, do you think GJ will move towards 143? Ooh.
Damn straight.
140. See, that's also like way too far. You should be talking about. Do you think GJ will move towards, let's say, 14600? You know, or like 14700, like realistic, reachable targets. I mean, 143 is a godly target, man. You got.
Yeah, it's a long way. There's a lot of tense of that. Where would you put your stop loss?
Yeah.
It's just excessive.
We'll talk about 143 when we get to 142.
Yeah, man. At the minute, 141 is the level.
Yes.
Well, 700. I've got 750 for today.
Yeah, 620. I think we can hit if we have a push. But we're in that weekly mess.
Yeah, that's just a bit.
That highlighted area, anything above 250, we're in that highlighted area. So,
yeah.
GJ now is correction wave. I have no idea what that means.
we're gonna have the exact same move that we had yesterday because the hour candle is finishing the exact same way it finished yesterday.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm hoping.
That is so weird. It's literally finishing with that stupid, that bearish little top thingy, and then the next candle will zip down back to like 150 or 250 and then create support and then bounce right back up. Are you kidding me? This is the exact same move that happened yesterday.
Very similar. Yeah.
Algos.
No, it's like literally the exact same movement because yesterday at this time, where are we here? We're at.
This is where we got in, wasn't it?
No, it was.
Yeah.
The candle looked the same way. It basically finished almost the identical way yesterday. Dipped all the way down.
Yep.
And then pulled up.
Hey, Rakeel, can we look at the daily on this? I'm just curious about something.
This is what today I got up early and entered earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made sense.
I tried to get a lower range. So I'm in at just above 140. So if it gets
The past 3 days have been bullish.
Yeah.
But essentially it's in a range though, so there's no real
Well, the idea is if it breaks out, you have easy targets to over here at least.
Yeah.
You can target that easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna push for
25
the road.
pips. Yeah, that's like 25 pips at that point.
Yeah. I mean, the easier entries were way earlier on for you guys.
Yeah. If you got in the last 30-minute candle or the 15-minute candle at 7:30, you're probably in a good spot right now.
Yeah, man.
The thing is, we
There
might.
you go.
Oh, activated.
Activated. Yes.
Activated.
That's not good.
No, that's not good, man.
Yeah, because the one I was gonna retrace to create the
Yes.
wick. So.
Yeah.
Fuck sakes.
No, maybe not though. You might
Yeah.
be saved.
Yeah.
Close one position. I think if
I mean, it's a good recipe for it to go up, but it,
Yeah,
like you said,
yeah.
it may retrace because we were just hit that level rather. Ceiling.
above 220 would be quite nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of was going to happen. So now I can put a buy stop at that place where Raja had it.
GPAD. Oh, nice one.
No, close me first position. So
I'm going to assume it's a forming a wick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it'd be off to the races soon if we don't.
Okay,
Exactly.
I hold above 225.
Okay, so New York session started.
Good for Whitfield now.
Yeah, it's going to dip a bit, but I think anything above that previous candle close, I think we'll probably be okay.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
It's good.
Gold is also moving up.
15 pips up. On that one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the one I closed earlier was 36. So that's alright.
Nice, Chris.
Cheers, man. That's what you get for getting up early, though.
Yeah. Warm.
I had to have a lot of coffee this morning. Paid off though.
What's this here?
It's just adapting to yesterday because I was a bit late entering yesterday. There's better entries than what I got yesterday.
Chris,
Yeah.
why trade with Monty and not trade with Chris?
Oh, that's my middle name, dude.
Oh,
Montgomery.
Okay.
Is it most likely that a interest rate decrease to 1.75 will be bearish for USD and bullish for gold? Yes. Yeah, I think that's going to happen in the next session, maybe in Asian or London.
Stay where you are.
It looks like we're going to be in a good spot. So.
Yeah. I just watched that what was it, level from yesterday? 425, I think it was. Where the 4 hours kept bouncing off.
Yeah.
That's the only one I was concerned about. I think we're going to have enough momentum to push through that and fill that wick though.
Yes.
Oh, Boris is speaking.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When giving evidence to the Scottish Parliament, the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster confirmed that non-Irish businesses will have better access to the EU single market than Scottish businesses. Shamefully, this government will not publish an economic assessment of the Prime Minister's deal.
Oh, nice. Keep asking this question.
It will hit Scotland very hard. So can he answer the central state that next year, whether or not Scotland's managed...
Yeah, I think you've got a good fill. Right to
There we go.
47, 140, 47, 140, 470. You can fill that easy.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's my first target.
Yeah.
Wick fill on the 4 hour.
470, wick fill on the 5 minute.
When you had your higher target, Ted, that you mentioned earlier, I think it was 620. Was that the 4 hour top?
Yes. Yes.
The
4 hour top on this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from my zone start. I've got that up a bit higher. To 710.
Is this a circus?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Man, these guys are loud, man.
Have you seen Banksy? You know the
Look
artist
at
Banksy?
Yeah.
He's done the thing with the gorilla apes. That's really good.
Tower inquiry report. But, Mr. Speaker, I know the whole House will want to join me in recording that after 10 tumultuous years, this is your last Prime Minister's questions. And
Let's
as
go,
befits
Boris.
a distinguished former Wimbledon competitor, you have sat up there in your high chair, and not just as an umpire.
Man, they're chilling, laughing. It's like they had a couple of pints before they came here.
I probably did with loads of gin.
Boris hair, man.
Not just as a
Hey, that dude's
commentator,
easy.
offering your own opinions on the rallies
Humble.
you're watching, sometimes acerbic and sometimes kindly, but above all as a player in your own right, peppering every part of the chamber with your own thoughts and opinions, like some tennis ball machine, some uncontrollable tennis ball machine, Mr. Speaker, delivering a series of literally unplayable, unreturnable, formally unreturnable
Ooh, gold is pushing up towards
volleys and
1495.
smashes. And although we may disagree about some of the legislative innovations that you have favoured, there is no doubt in my mind that you have been a great servant of this Parliament and of this House of Commons. You have modernised, you have widened access, you have cared for the needs of those with disabilities, and you've cared so deeply for the rights of backbenchers that you've done more than anyone since Stephen Hawking to stretch time in this particular session. As we come to the end of what must be the longest retirement since Frank Sinatra, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the whole
So they make jokes.
Yes.
Yeah, they just talk bollocks all day, basically. That's what.
While they get paid.
That's exactly the reason we don't get shit done.
across the House will want to join me in wishing the England rugby team the very best for the final in the World Cup on Saturday. Mr. Speaker, this morning I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others in addition to my duties in the House, and I shall have further such meetings later today.
Yep, we're going back into that zone again.
Ooh, I got out of GJ.
Just chill where it is.
About your outstanding service as Speaker, Mr. Speaker, and to wish you
Come on, Boris, say something, man.
life after your speakership has come to an end. Labour will be producing a strong offer on climate emergency and net zero at the forthcoming election, including a full ban on the extraction of fossil fuel by fracking. What chances are Prime Minister think he has of matching,
Very similar to yesterday.
particularly in light of the news?
Yeah. It also happened around 5:30 a.m. your time.
What, for me here?
Yes, the same thing happened.
Yeah, it's about, I don't know what time would it be. 7 or 8, I think.
Yeah.
I thought I got up earlier today, adapted my brain. A bit more sense.
Okay, what's this? Would it be stupid to enter now because of news? Yes. It will be very stupid to enter now.
Play.
I mean, news is in 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Is GDP news has any effect on GJ? It might have a little spike here and there, but I highly doubt it.
That is delivering the solutions in clean technology that are deplored by the party opposite.
What's the name of the YouTube channel? This channel is called Wixon Lab. Is this a live account on TradingView? No, this is not a live account. This is the TradingView website. Oh, the guy's back. Talking about we trade candles. Okay. Yeah, it's good to have him around.
Welcome.
Oh, Boris Johnson's speech? Here it is. I'll paste the link in the YouTube chat. There we go. It's funny when there's news, when there's a lot of volatility in the market coming in, we have a lot of people join the live sessions.
Yeah, and then they vanish.
Yeah. When there's nothing, like we don't have many people, it's interesting.
I find a lot of that 30-minute step up.
Yep.
You like that, how it kind of lined up like we said yesterday?
Yeah, it should pop in the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether this news would actually affect, because that could help.
Perhaps not as much, but I mean it does. We're holding support at 250, so that's the most important.
Yeah. Did you jump back in at all?
I'm in. Yeah.
Nice work.
I'm in at 325.
Yeah, good shout.
I grabbed off the 5-minute rejection.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So I'm banking on that. That was just a dip to continue further up. My stop loss will be below 250.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If it starts moving down, my stop loss will be like 209. But I'm expecting to go to 600. So.
I mean, when I entered this morning, my stop loss was at 900. I think it was 900 or 9, something like that, 950.
Yeah, because I think if we go to 600, we'll eventually break up to 141. So
yeah, for sure. Well, I thought if we can get past 720, 710, that's a guarantee. I think. I can't really see much else. But of course, that's.
Yeah, like right now, it seems like we're building that support above 250. Like 281 is now becoming a support, almost 300. Yeah. So if we hold that, we should keep stepping up into like the 400s eventually.
Yeah, I think. Right. Yep.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, if this 5-minute candle turns into a rocket ship, I think we'll be in a good position. I just don't want it to range at like 380.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd get that between that top wick and where we are now. I was just a bit cautious of that.
We should fill this whole area here.
Yeah, theoretically that makes sense.
This whole wick, we should fill that and then eventually hit this area. So that's what I'm looking at this point.
Would class that candle, I think it's 15 minutes back, as like a rejection of that.
This one?
Oh, hang on, I'm not looking at that screen, I was looking at oh no, it's on 15 minutes. 15 minutes, like where it's bouncing off about 220.
Yeah, I see which one you're talking about. The one that had like, and it looks like there is a zone being printed in that area. That's correct.
Exactly what I was kind of planning out.
So like this target 450 should be easily achievable right now.
Dad, your target is 450.
Yeah, we should fill to that grade. Like we should probably get to here. Just based on momentum. The problem is this area here is matching up with this area here, so we have to break up to that area. So essentially what will happen is we tapped into this area here. We need this same thing to tap into that area there. So that's what we're waiting on.
Thanks.
It's tough because we're right in a zone. So.
Either way, we've had this covered this week. Some good learning for people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in profits, but it's just DJ will bounce around and do whatever.
Yeah, it seems a bit. Yeah, but it's because we're in the range bit. We've not caught the massive jump out yet properly.
Yeah.
Well, we did the other week, but
yes.
I mean, I did this morning on I think it was our 8 o'clock. I got that near enough all that, to be fair.
Yeah, so see what happens. I mean, New 15-minute candle starting.
Alright, we got volatility coming in here.
Which is, yeah. That was an entry point.
Wow, GJ dipped down. ADP should drop gold here.
Spreads widened huge right now with GDP.
Yeah.
Or ADP, sorry.
Yeah. ADP.
Oh my god, my spread is so wide right now.
It's dropping.
Cool. Push it.
One.
The spread in GJ went to 8 pips.
Yeah, I know. I looked at that. I'm like, why am I not in profit? This is pretty good. Pretty disgusting.
Yeah, ADP was a fart.
Yeah, didn't do anything.
So, ADP numbers are not up yet.
Come on now, let's go.
It has to be now, man.
Ooh,
GG.
ooh, what a jump.
It's now or never for GJ.
Yeah, pretty much. It's got to break up. Because that's what it is.
So does this NFP will be similar. Tony, NFP is next week.
And it would not be similar.
Oh. No, NFP is this week.
Yeah, Friday.
Oh, it is Friday, yeah, because it's 30.
Yeah, first.
Oh shit. Sorry, Tony.
The NFP and ADP don't have correlation.
No. I don't even think it has volatility at all either. So. God, what another. Man, it's been a bitch right now.
Yeah, we got to break into the 40s.
Or a candle. No.
Oh, a candle.
Yeah, it's normally the way.
This has to come up over here. Follow my arrow. No. Wait, no, hold on a second. This one.
God damn it. I fucked it up.
He followed it.
Go on, keep going. That's it. Just connect the dots. That could be a highlight. There you go. That was instant. Just go down.
This data provides an early outlook on employment growth using 2 days of development.
So this is actually pretty good. You have this, and then eventually this. So that's good. That's what I like because now, like you were saying earlier, Chris, you're creating that step.
Yeah, I think when
this
we got here at 140, so
and this here.
Yeah. It's like a set from today. It's
right.
It's from today on the 15, I think, and it's pretty smart. If it continues that way, I kind of forget where that zone is. It just work its way through.
How informative are 5-minute candles? Well, any candle time frame can be informative. It's how you interpret the data, right? So it's how much experience do you have reading price levels, and how can you interpret that and bring that over to the higher time frames? That's sort of your question you have to ask yourself with regards to how important is a specific time frame. It's how you interpret that time frame, right? People who swing trade don't believe hour candles are important. People who scalp don't believe daily candles are important, right? So it's just understanding what makes the most sense for you at that point.
Gold rejected off that 6 AM high that was made yesterday. Yeah, that was expected. I mean, gold isn't going to go anywhere till FOMC. The only thing gold might do is might dip down to 1490, and then that would be about it. And then gold's going to say, okay, boys, we got to wait for the main move. FOMC.
But a minute to flip now. That would be nice.
FOMC means Federal Open Market Committee. That's when they decide the interest rates and other important economic stuff.
Got news again at 8:30. Come on. DJ is freaking playing around, man.
Yeah.
8:30. We got GDP, man. We got GDP, and then we got CAD interest rates. God damn. We got FOMC. Alright, GJ's moving now.
Yeah, man. 30 minute flip.
Do it.
Do it, GJ.
Come on. Jump. Do it.
Do it.
Get out.
Do it.
Hey, do it. Hey,
do
hey, you do it.
How you doing?
That's such a good move.
It's funny though, because it's this huge area of liquidity. I'm trying to figure out why hasn't it sort of spiked it.
I think it's just been patient, mate. I think it's got to go somewhere.
Hey,
Chad, you remember yesterday that you said that like everything is moving 1 hour later?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
Because, sorry for interrupting, but because we moved the clock in the Europe, so that's why. I don't know if you moved.
Yeah. No, we don't move. We've already moved.
Oh yeah, because we did that on Sunday. So yeah, we all went. Did we go forward? Yeah, forward. No.
Well, Canada and the US are Eastern Standard Time. We're supposed to have it on Sunday. Were you guys talking about the hour move ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Sunday just gone.
Yeah. Is ours this Sunday?
Ours is this Sunday.
Yeah, ours this Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. It makes, I mean, we've seen this so many times, this candle here, this in the last like 5 minutes or whatever, flips and heads here and then pulls back down. So I mean, I'm not too worried. It's just I was expecting it to have a little bit more strength where it would carry up into this higher area towards the end of 8:30. But I mean, we know GJ can move in 5 minutes like 8 pips, so I'm not surprised if it does that in the last like 5 minute candles.
Just leave that arrow for a minute.
Yeah, it just seems like that's what it's gonna do. I mean, at this point, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but there's no way that we're just suddenly gonna drop. Like, I don't see that happening.
That'd be out of the order.
Yeah, I mean, that would be one of those events where you're just like, oh, couldn't have predicted that.
Well, if following it the way it's going, it makes sense. It's just it would be a bit of a shock for it to turn around that far.
Yeah, but it's either going to be this 30-minute candle that pushes up to it, or then the next 30-minute candle dips one more time, and then it continues. Like, what'll happen is maybe the next 30-minute candle dips here, and then it just pushes.
Yeah, well good.
Yeah.
We're above.
Because I mean, we're really holding this area right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if it just rockets in the last few minutes, and then we literally have to exit right before 8:30, like right before the half-hour close.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it'll pull all the way back. It just seems like that's one of the moves that it seems like what it's doing right now is it might just pull up, and then you might just get that exit, and then after that it just rips right back down again, because this candle is not very strong in terms of its movement. So I just wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want to keep holding the tag at that point. I mean, obviously if it pulls up into that area, you may want to hold it, right? Because at that point you're probably deep in profit, and you can survive the pullback.
Yeah, I'll go from my entry from this morning, but I mean I'm about 39 pips now. Yeah, 5 pips now. So I mean, I'm the form that I am. I mean, if you got in the last half hour or so, you could still potentially do it, but I'll be taking profit.
Yeah, like I'm 4 pips up right now, so it's not that big of a deal. But I was hoping to be a little bit higher once this half hour closes. I did really want this half hour to close a little stronger. But I mean, it sort of makes sense, because the next 15-minute candle, like this 15-minute candle is very strong bullish. There's a good possibility that it pops up in the next half hour. So,
well, we kind of have.
Wait and see.
That's, I don't know, it seems pretty similar. No, I was just looking at something else.
The only thing that I don't want to see, and if I see it, is something like this that pops up like that, and then basically starts this like that. So if I see that in the next 30-minute candle, if I see a wick that doesn't top this wick, I'm exiting. Because what that signifies to me is that this level here is it's a zone of resistance, and we're not breaking out of that. So that's the only thing that I'll be watching out for in the next 30-minute candle. Is if this does not finish bullish, if this candle finishes bearish, and the next wick is like, say, like in this area here or this area here when it starts, and then it continues to drop, that's when I exit.
Do you mean similar to that kind of thing on the left there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So so this, the way this candle formed, and then you see the next candle, you see how it's sort of now sat. So if this candle finishes bearish, that's my signal to exit. But if it finishes bullish, that's a different story. I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Question: even if this little, I guess you can call it a hammer, this with a liquidity candle turns, let's say, bearish, but doesn't go below the, I guess the designated, I guess the new support now, would that be considered bullish? Consider the fact that it went up.
Well, I don't. It's not. It's how the candle finishes, right? If the candle prints bearish, that means that this area here is being rejected, right? And that this candle was the odd candle. I mean, it doesn't look like it's doing it now. Yeah. But if it was, I'd be very cautious, because now if this candle finishes the way it finishes right now, if we finish with a body like that, what you may find is the next candle will dip again, and then basically continue to push up, right? So what you have is you have your step. You have a step here, and then a step here to continue up. The problem is, if it doesn't finish that way, now we have rejection at this level. So that may start the descent back down, because this is a major zone, right? So that's the idea of what I'm interpreting of the current price is if price, is this really momentum, or are we just driving up to then push further down? That's sort of what the information we're trying to get in the last few minutes of this candle. And that's what I'm watching. So that at 8:30, usually at 8:30, what'll happen, as an example, you probably get like a push up, in the first minute or two. That's when I'll close, and then it'll dip back down.
Yeah, like it always does.
Right. Yeah. But if this but it's all dependent on how this finishes. If this finishes with a bullish body, something like this, then you're okay. But if it finishes bearish, I'm not too happy with that. That's
gotcha. Okay, because I mean, I heard there's some maybe discrepancies, as even though there's a big wick right here, if they would quote unquote consider it bullish, but I always was like, no, that doesn't really make any sense. I understand the concept behind it, but I don't understand if it's bearish, then it's most likely a rejection, like you mentioned. So I was debating that with somebody, and it was just like, almost confusing in a sense. But I understand from that perspective how that would make sense, because it is uptrending, and if it's rejecting, then it would go down. So yeah, so just for clarifying that.
I mean, the way that the hourly candles are forming, it doesn't support the idea of dropping. But then once again, I don't want to be in a massive rejection for no reason and then have the next hour pull up, right? Yeah. So that's where, I sort of manage my trade accordingly. I'm in profit, so I can exit and be happy with the trade, or I can then come back in the next hour or half hour and then see a better entry, perhaps, because there'll be a better structure. Because this right now is bouncing around here, and we really want it to break out, and it's not doing what it's supposed to be.
I mean, you don't want to end up like you got just to the left with that rejection after London Open. But that's the kind of thing you're going to expect.
And it completes that, and then basically this this was just a liquidity grab, like just a bunch of liquidity for the next half hour to sort of do this. Like that's what I'm thinking, where you'll have the next 30-minute candle will just have no wick and all body. But if that's not the case, then now we've got news coming in, so spreads have widened again. So that's really messed up the idea here.
Oh, nice.
Not sure.
Not really.
Look at gold.
Yeah, I got buys.
I got sell stop, but it was too big position.
What happened?
It didn't take it.
Yeah, that looks like rejection.
Wow.
That was easy.
Look at the wick at the gold. Like, what the but wow.
I think it's going to continue to go up. Let me see off the 4 hour.
Gold first stop 1485.
That might be pretty good, Ted.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's like another liquidity grab.
Yeah.
We need to break that 40 level.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, GG.
Yeah, because that could now give it a lot of momentum.
That's right. And look at the hour candle now. So
Yeah,
the hour candle's good. Okay. So we're actually in good shape now. So we should. So first target on the hourly, we should be coming around 140, 443. That would be my first target. That's my safe target right now. Between 140, 40.
Yeah, 440.
440, that's probably the safe first target if you were in from earlier. If you're trying to enter now, good luck. It's going to be very difficult, but 440 would probably be the first exit if you're in it. It just still doesn't have any juice. It's really weird. Like that hour candle now has gone bullish fully with a massive rejection. It looks like maybe the last 10 minutes of this hour we're going to get the move on. Maybe not.
Oh, nice.
There we go. One push.
Come on. This 4 hours should fill the wick there.
Yeah. Okay, so 440 is your first target.
Yep.
Block close a little.
There we go.
Oh, nice. Closing right here.
Nice work, man.
Yeah,
see,
done.
Yeah.
I'm out. That's good.
All right. See, this is what I was talking about. The that kind of closed bearish and it just shot back up.
Yeah, that was our other discussion, right? Where it was like, if this candle holds, like the step, that candle, like this candle here, basically turns into like a liquidity grab to go further up. Because I mean, I hate to say it, but look at the pattern: bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Like, I mean, it sounds stupid, but it makes sense because what we're saying is wicks don't lie, right? You know, each of these wicks are finishing higher than the previous one. So now the fact that we hit 440, this area here, we're filling this wick. So now if you're trade, you can exit or you can do whatever you want. I exited because I was happy with, you know, the
push.
With the push, and that's what I was expecting, because looking on the hour candle, the bodies on the hour candles, you know, when you look even on the 30-minute, the bodies are literally right here. So that's where I'd want to exit, because now you see this is where people get caught, is this wick tapped into this area, but we don't know. Yeah, we don't know how strong it's going to hold. All we know is that this body over here matches. So the idea is to get that through. Okay, once we hit that major rejection area, we sort of have to get out at that point, because that was the push that you were looking for if you were holding it from that last area.
Yeah, makes sort of perfect sense. It's just the like, I think what it is with me now is just like looking at the confluence, because I knew, not to say I knew, like I was leaning towards that it's still gonna go up regardless if the candle was bearish. But like because there was no confirmation, there's no bullish confirmation at that point in time. It was like, okay, let me just sit on my hands for a bit, and then it did exactly what what we said it was going to do in terms of going up. So I don't know, I'm still learning this. So
yeah, well, no, the thing is, I mean, ideally, what our target was, and we talked about this earlier. Our target was essentially to fill this area here, right? And the range. And the range. So you know that's being your target. The problem is what people they get into trouble with is they want all of this, and we don't know if we're going to get all of this. But when you look to the left, your indicators are that area here. So if you were to draw your resistance line, this is basically your resistance here, right? So 440 is an achievable target. The problem is people want the extra over here, which makes sense. I agree with that. But if you're only if you only got in the trade like over here, that is basically supposed to be your target.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Because of the fact that when you're in that trade, you're only going for 10 or 12 pips. Because if you look at your risk, this essentially was your risk, right? So you've got like maybe I'll measure it out on my chart, and then this is your reward. Okay, so that's what you're aiming for. The problem is people don't monitor that, and then when you do something like that, what ends up happening is now you're aiming for things that don't make sense. So when we said 440 was the exit point, you have to eject. You have to, because now you're stuck. You're looking and you're saying, well, I had whatever, like 10 or 12 pips, and it's just like, oh, now I'm stuck, right? And it's just like, yeah, you're stuck because you're trying to push this through. There's no doubt in my mind with momentum, we're probably going to break up. But the problem is, I'm not looking at the long-term trade. I'm looking at this specific region saying, I want to exit at that point, right? If I'm only trading on an hourly basis, I have to make sure that my exits are based on hourly basis. Like, I can't take a trade on a 5-minute candle and then turn around and be like, oh, look at the 4-hour zone I can push through. It's not gonna work. You have to make sure that you match up the ideas. I mean, obviously right now, holding at 370 is perfect, right? Because you can see we're holding above that previous 30-minute candle. Like, if this holds here, you're okay, because the next 30-minute candle is going to do this. It's going to basically pop down, and then you're going to have this bullish momentum. And you know what? That might be the candle that this just continues going up that way, right?
I was thinking that. Yeah, that was in the back of my mind too. That could possibly happen. Maybe around the 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, most likely that would happen, because I mean that's the only sensible thing that makes sense right now. I mean, we are heading up, but even though it has rejected, I think it's setting up for momentum at this point. Yeah, well, let's see what happens. So it might even just go below the resistance line.
I think it did a very similar thing yesterday.
It did, yeah.
Then we might well come back to that 650. And we'd potentially go a lot further than where we are now. I'd say 600s, but you'd have to get past the zones, obviously. But yeah, that's a well planned out trade, man.
Problem is you're scared, and I don't know why. Well, there's always I think when you talk about people being scared, it's not that people are scared of the trade. It's not that. It's just understanding the probability, and because I have history in terms of watching this, or even Raja has history in terms of watching the trade. You may find that, we see things that, I've noticed that this will happen before. So that's why when you're going through and I talk through the trade, you can see that was my thought process. That if this happens, I have to be aware of this. Like, I'm not just blindly sitting watching the charts. I'm trying to be a little bit more active, because what that does is it allows me to reduce my risk or reduce my exposure in the market. As you start to trade more often, it's not a matter of saying, oh, I need to get out before it hits my stop, but it's just, hey, if this candle doesn't finish the way we like it, I have a couple of options. And being able to put those options in your head as you're trading allows you to be more comfortable in the trade. So you're not panicking, because being aware of most of the variables or the what if scenarios allows you to sit here and say, okay, we saw 830 came, 830, you know, sort of pushed up, and it's like, okay, with that momentum, where's our first target? And we had that target already planned from the previous half-hour candle, so that allows you then to sit back and say, hey, I have my target. 440 is my target. You know, 250 was my entry. So you know, like, I'm able to get through and say, I was able to pick up that move, and then I'm able to exit without turning around and say, hey, where do I exit? Why would I have exited here? You already had planned for that. So when that spike happened to get to 440, 445, you're already out. And you're like, okay, I'm done. And then now you can let the candles do whatever you want, right? So that's, you know, when you look at that and you turn around and say, okay, well, now the market's, you know, now the 30-minute candle is doing ridiculousness. You don't care anymore because you're out of the market, because you had planned to exit as soon as you hit this area. Like, we planned that exit strategy. Like, we weren't planning something up over here because it made no sense based on the current section, based on this current information. What made the most sense? We were basically dipping. Originally here you had this dip here, bounced, hit support, and then we bounced right back up, and now whatever it does afterwards, we're not really too, we don't really know what makes the most sense at that point, or like, you know, what happened next, because it's not necessary. That's what I'm trying to get at, is if you're going for specific targets, everything else won't matter. But now, as a trader, if you miss this first opportunity, you can say, hey, more than likely we're probably going to come back up there, so maybe I want to start taking entries at this point here when this candle flips bullish, knowing that we're going to fill that range again eventually and go further up if we do have bullish momentum. So that's sort of what you would want to look at that point, if that makes sense.
I think that's really well explained trade this time. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's just when you, this is what I tell people, like what I talk about and what I do is what I tell people to do as well, because now you have an idea of what makes the most sense every single time. And when you do that, you have a better opportunity now to then hunt another trade, because when you look at your hourly time frames, you can say, okay, that was rejection, but I have a support at 250, so now I can sit back at 250 and say, okay, if we bounce off of that, there might be another opportunity again to go further up, because we don't have change in direction at that point. Someone mute your mic, please.
You even said it could end up like that one just after the London Open as well, off that rejection, off that level. That's spot on. Lovely to see.
Yeah, I think that was a very good close up there.
Yep. But I mean, you can see now the candle's sort of hanging out. So now anywhere where you place buy stops probably above this area here, you're probably going to have another good trade. Because we can see that this is not really breaking down anymore.
I'm tempted, man, but I made two already.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I'm going to leave it at that. I think I'm about 60, 70 pips up. So, something like that. So I'm good. Live to fight tomorrow.
When did you enter? Last night or?
Early this morning, London time. So about 140, and then 140, 143, and I got another one at 210. But my first one at London I closed this morning because it jumped 30 something, but it had 2 entries on that, which was nice. That was a little bit early, but I could see it coming.
Yeah, 460 pips for October. That's what I was counting. Someone asked how many pips I got for October. Oh, he got 1,000. Oh, nice, perfect. Okay, what's this? Gold. Selling, nice. You're selling gold. See, now what you will find on gold is that this is, of course, resistance you have at 1494.95, and then you have the support here. Guys, I want to motivate everyone to wait trading until you are really sure, because there is the moment where you are sure. Please don't lose money, because if you are not sure, I think you are not really. Yeah, I think the one thing I've started to do is that if I want to take a trade, I'll just wait another 5-10 minutes, and that waiting 5-10 minutes will severely change your whole idea about the trade. Either it's going to enhance your bias, or it's going to say, okay, you know what, we just gotta maybe wait now a little bit more. Rates could remain the same. Yeah, there's a very high chance they will cut the rates, and there's a very, very low chance rates will remain the same. Is this an opportunity you would take? Let's take a look at this. Selling USD CHF. I think you would need some more information here in terms of candles, because of course it's reaching the fib level and it's reaching their support. So now you want to see candles forming some sort of a resistance at that level so that you can get that move down. Also, if you extend it to the left, you'll see that this is the area where the 1 hour candles had some sort of consolidation here previously. So yeah, this could make sense. Just wait for a resistance form. I didn't get the venue info, brother. Brother, I booked your hotel, brother.
No, I meant the you know how you were saying the other day, what we're doing the first day, second day, third day, and all of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll send that out in the group, like in the WhatsApp group we're in.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. I was like, venue. I'm like, I booked the hotel. So what about CAD rates, Raja Banks? Yeah, CAD rates is going to be interesting. I mean, there are rumors that they will cut the rates, but that's just a rumor. So I don't know, if we see a surprise cut, that would be huge. That would be huge because they haven't really cut the rates since October 2018, and the US has already cut rates twice. You know, so if you look at USD over here, let's take a USD. So from 250, they cut it down to 2.25. And now they're about to cut them down to, and then they cut them down to 2.0 from 2.25. Now they're looking to cut them down to 1.75. So CAD, I mean, it's plausible they might do a surprise rate cut. For USD CAD, I don't trade USD CAD. If you can send a chart, Jason Smith, that would be perfect. They're expecting bad numbers though. Yeah, sure. I mean, if they expect bad numbers, that's awesome. If they expect good numbers, that's awesome. We are retail traders who trade candlesticks.
Yeah, I don't know what everybody's issue is. I mean, you just take one trade a day or two trades a day and you're good. It's pretty straightforward, but I guess some people don't like that. Always wondered why people want to overcomplicate things. I guess it's human nature, right? I don't know. Maybe I grew up in the wrong generation. Because maybe I don't understand why everybody wants to overcomplicate everything. I just always, like when I grew up, I always asked myself, I'm like, man, what's the easiest way to do something and how can I keep doing it?
I think the problem is that this is lack of understanding, so they have to like have this need to know everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's the issue. I get what you're saying, like, you know, just simple works. You know, it just less stress in your mind, whatever the case may be. It just people overcomplicate things. So.
Yeah, it's scary though because I mean I want people to succeed, but they defeat themselves. Like they're harder than the market sometimes. Uncle Ted, you mentioned that the previous 30-minute on GJ was a liquidity grab. What this 30-minute candle also be considered a liquidity grab on? Well, so there's a difference now, Lou the Barber, because of the fact is you tapped into a zone. So here's the difference, right? So when we look at targets, this originally was to fill, right? So these candles did not fill the target. This candle right here was the one that did. So there's a difference now. So this is a key concept, is if we're filling this range with this group of candles, once that range gets filled, this candle currently has no validity. And what I mean by that is it did what it was supposed to do. It went from here and it filled into that area over there. So the fact that it's pulling back down and going back up again, we don't need to interpret that candle anymore because it did what it was required to do. It reached the zone, it reached price where we have a zone. And how do we know that's a zone? Because as we look to the left, price tapped into that area and rejected. So what you can say to yourself is that this whole area here is a zone, right? We can say that this whole area here is a zone and that this candle here did its job, right? So now we don't care what the candle does. This movement here is not relevant to us. The idea is now you would have to turn around and say, okay, we basically came back into this area or this consolidation box, we broke out. Now what'll happen more than likely if we continue with bullish momentum, we'll probably dip further down and then continue further up. So what you can do is you can then reassign an idea and say, okay, if this candle stays within this range here or this zone, or maybe drops to this zone, once it does, as soon as we get candles that look like this, rejection candles, then we can start to take buys again. And where are we going? We're going back into this zone, because price always has to go back to a previous level. Price always returns to another level. And when you look at that, you have to understand that, hey, at that level, we have to exit the trade or we have to manage our trade. There's no point of trying to guess direction once we hit a certain price level. There's no point. There's a decision that has to be made. That is the key thing that you have to remember. It's not guessing the direction that candles are going to move or price is going to move at that decision area. It's what decision am I making based on my risk management and based on my plan. That's what you're looking at, and that's what you're saying to yourself is, based on my plan, where and what am I doing? You're not saying, well, I think we're going to continue going up, or I think this is a fake out, or this is that, or this is... No, it's what decision am I comfortable with at that particular time? That's how you have to execute your trades, is when you reach a certain price level, what is my decision? Not, well, I think we're going to continue going up, so I'm going to hold. It's like, no, I have to understand that if we're going to go all the way through, I'm holding it to this level. If it reaches this level, I have to exit, and understanding that point to say that every time I'm trading, I have a target, and when I achieve my target, I'm either closing my trade, moving my stop loss to above break even, or managing my trade. I am never at a point where I don't know what I'm going to do when I reach an obvious price level. And to be honest, this was a very obvious price level, because we can see if we break down this whole entire chart on Raja's screen, right? So if we do this very simply, we can break this entire chart down. So let's break this area down, okay? So this is all we have to focus on. So what I'll do is I will clear out all the other junk. So I don't care about any of this. I don't care about any of that, okay? So this is all we're looking at right now. And this is all that you want to see. This is all you want to focus your eyes on. So when you start doing this, you say to yourself, okay, what are some key areas of interest that I have to look at, right? And as you break down your chart, you say, okay, this is a key level of interest. This was a key level of interest, right? Now, when I look to the bottom side, I'm saying, okay, this was a key level of interest. This was a new level of interest. So if I know that, and I turn around and say, okay, this area here, this dropped, and now this is rising, where should we return to? Where would be my key area of interest that we would return to? We would basically turn around and say, this probably will have to come back. Or eventually, like we said, this area over here will have to come back. We'll have to come back to that area. So now when you do something like that, oh, it's not even on Raja's screen, is it? Sorry, I'm just trying to check if it's on his screen. Oh, okay, good, it is. Sorry, my screen was paused on YouTube. So when you see this information, you have to then make assumptions, and that's where you break down now this area here. This is now your area of interest. So you have to break down this area of interest, and you have to say to yourself, if we're breaking up, what are telltale signs that we're breaking up? So we turn around and say, hey, there's a bit of a support here, support was created here. So if that's continuing, then we know that we have momentum to eventually go further up into that target. And once that target's achieved, then we are exiting at that point. And you're saying, okay, I'm done because I've reached the ideas. So if you're always able to do that with your charts, it becomes a lot easier, because what you've done is you've broken down a specific section of your charts, and it's allowed you to make an informed decision instead of saying, well, you know, this is support, this is support, this is resistance, this is a zone. Like, you start going all over the place. Oh, this is support zone here. You know, you can start doing everything, and then when you start doing that, you just confuse the hell out of yourself. It's the idea is you want to break your charts down and really focus in on what makes the most sense for me and where do I want to be, and then what does that look like when I look left. And that will help you, and that will give you an idea. Obviously, you want to keep these little things here in mind, but I mean, how do they play out? Like, if you were thinking logically, like, what do I care about this level when price is over here? Like, it doesn't make sense to me to worry about what's going on here. It makes more sense for me to worry about this current area over here, more importantly, than the bottom area at that point. So that's how you should be managing your trades, and you can do this on every time frame. You can do this on the higher time frames, and you just have to make sure that when you do this kind of work, that you understand exactly what's going on with the area that you're working within, so that you can manage your trade accordingly, right? Because you can see now the new 30-minute candle has started, and it's now going up. So what can we determine from that? From an initial glance, you can start to say, hey, this is probably a zone, right? Because we were tapping, we had taps in from this area here, and now we're starting to pull up. Now, so you say to yourself, well, Ted, I believe that this was rejection, right? So now what we're going to say is we're going to say that this area here is a major zone. So this area here is a major zone, right? So you're going to tell me, Ted, you're wrong, because we tapped into that major zone, we're going down. So then what I say to you is, I say to you this: if this means that we're going down now because this is rejection, if this is what you're saying, you turn around and say, okay, well, this candle now has to flip. So what I'd be doing is I'd be looking to take trades below here when that candle flips, and then I'd be targeting this area, and then I'd be eventually targeting this area here. That's how I plan out a trade if I do believe that this zone is rejecting and we are going down, because you are making the argument to me, and this is how trading works and this is how discussions work, that this area here we ended up dropping, right? So we left that area and dropped there. So I believe the same thing is going to happen here. So, you know, this was drop one, and then essentially this becomes then drop two, right? So that's what you're saying to me. You're saying that you caught the upper portion of that move to then start our drop. Okay, so that's basically what you're saying. Uncle Ted, why do you want to trade in a range? Why not a higher probability area? Well, it's not trading in a range. We assigned ourselves a price level that we believed we were going to.
Where did he see a range? The candle is going, the market's moving up. It's not moving side to side.
Well, yeah, that's what he was. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, because if you turn around and you box.
Morning.
Morning.
Have a look on the 4 hour is ranging.
Yeah, but if you turn around and box this out, the idea is we were leaving that box.
Exactly.
You were moving from that box because these wicks were now moving away from that. But yeah, on the higher time frame, yeah, there could be a range. But the thing is, we weren't trading off for the 4 hour. We weren't extending our targets. All we were doing was targeting this area. So basically, it was, I think I had a 2 pip drawdown and a 10 pip gain at that point. So
if this closes below that zone, that small zone right there, to bullish, it's I don't say do you think it's most likely it's going to continue, because I mean this long doji candle right here is an indication that it's a tug of war between, I guess, the bears and the bulls. And well, it's probably not going to do that as this candle is forming. But if it closes above that this zone right here, this one right here, then I think it could continue.
Yeah. See, and now here, this is where people start to get confused because now everyone in the chat is like, well, Ted just said that this area matches with this area, and because this area went down here, this area has to drop. And I'm saying that's the wrong way to think, because what you're now trying to do is you're trying to apply a formula, or you're trying to say because one side did something, this side has to do something. It doesn't. What you have to do, you have to turn around and look and say to yourself, where are my targets going to be if we're dropping? And now looking at the higher time frames, does that support a drop? And is there enough range based on a risk to reward? So if I turn around and say that this is my risk, where's my reward going to be? Am I hoping to go here? And is that a high probability trade? That's how you have to figure out. Right. Yeah. So that's where you have to figure out for yourself and say, am I comfortable taking this trade? Nobody can answer that for you. Am I comfortable taking that trade? Probably not, because we're coming towards the end of the London session and we can see that we've already pulled up a lot and this area here was rejecting. If we were to continue further down, I would have probably assumed that this candle here would have been the catalyst to push further down. The fact that we stopped and that we continued further up means that over here, there might be a breakup more potentially to the upside over here than the downside. And then to Simon's point, the higher time frames are going sideways. So now this is just mimicking the higher time frames.
Got those GJ buyers earlier, right?
Nice.
Rakeel, you doing a stream for the Fed later?
Yes.
Nice.
This is the stream.
Yeah, but he's not keeping it open till tonight, right?
Maybe. I was debating on that.
Really?
Yeah.
24-hour marathon.
Yeah.
Bring your stocks, bring your drinks.
Yeah, bring your city drinks.
Cheetos.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think with you, Ted, I think although this is looking like rejection up there, I think GJ could push up a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. Just by the wicks and just how it's not necessarily coming down specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what I mean is the candle coming down.
The only thing is,
or bearish. Sorry.
The only thing is that this was resistance formed. This formed here again. This seemed like we're gonna push up. This actually closed in this area. This was the candle where we took profits because it went up, but then it closed back below this area.
What I start seeing, it starts to consolidate. Like I told you, it's going to start consolidating sooner or later.
I just like, I agree what Ted said, like it did this push up here and then this candle pushed all the way down, but it didn't break this area and then continued up. So yeah, it's probably just going to consolidate here, but we may see a move up.
Yeah.
Later at some point.
Hey, Rakeel, can we look at the higher time frames on this? Or rather the, what's it, daily? Yeah, on daily. Okay, so pretty much it's bullish then, so that is a good, I guess, catalyst for it to continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is consolidating because we see the wick. I think that whole consolidation is just the wick itself. All of this. Mm-hmm. This right here.
See if
it's a wick itself. Yeah.
See if it's gonna head up, you want the 4 hour to go like this.
Yeah.
But the trade.
Come on, you trade anything on gold today?
Yeah, I caught the news, pulled back on the news.
What, that bounce from 1490?
Let me tell you where I got in. Yeah, 1419.67 I got in.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I've just come back. What's up, Simon?
Hey, you alright?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. Did alright yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, good day yesterday.
Yeah, good work, man.
Haven't taken a trade today.
I've only taken 6 this week, so...
Nothing's appealing to me.
You know, I see the London move this morning, GJ. That was pretty... Well, it wasn't easy, but it was easier than where we were earlier.
I looked at it this morning. I can't remember what I was looking at. On
About 7, 8 o'clock, I think it was. So it was pretty early on. And it was kind of ranging in a little consolidation area on 15 minutes. And it kind of...
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't like it. I was just looking at... It was just too... Like the 4 hour and the 1 hour was just a bit rangy for me this morning.
Yeah.
Danny boy has a trade over.
Yeah, I know, at resistance.
Oh, how's he doing?
Oh man, he's
doing well.
Good.
Doing good.
He's in the red right now, but
Where do you find him? Where do you find him, Post? Please send me.
I'm just gonna ask that question.
Yeah, every day I put in the same username and password.
oh yeah, Danny, this trade should be a winner, man.
Can we see a link or something? Like, how was it that you guys saying this? You guys said it yesterday.
Hold on, I'm looking at you know what? I'm looking at the highest time frame.
You know, we've been sending the link for the past 4 days every day.
That's what I'm saying,
And
bro.
every day, someone wakes up and says, oh, where's the link? Oh, where's the link?
I wasn't here the last 4 days.
Oh yeah,
I had a break. Yeah, I had a break.
Alright, Devor, I'll send that for you in the chat.
Oh, thank you, man.
Alright,
I'm looking for that for last week. I couldn't find him. I'm only just seeing
I don't know,
stories.
Devor, if you should get it though. You might, take some of his trades.
Yeah. Full magic, probably. Yeah. Full magic.
I don't take signals.
From this guy, you should.
Ted, he got a 6 slots. He's going for the win, Ted. He's going for the win.
Yeah, it seems like it. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
6 slots.
He improved. He had 1 lot. Now he has 6 slots.
So
why did what's the matter?
He should have just hit it with an 8 lot and called it a day.
Oh, like why not 10? Like I mean, just...
Maybe he didn't reach that.
All right,
So
Samson,
got a
thanks.
margin for 10.
Samson, this is it? Or Samson?
Yeah. You could log
Okay,
in
cool.
onto MT4 using that.
Really?
Shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's an investor account.
his margin level is 400, and I think your broker was closing out at 80.
Yeah.
So he got plenty of room.
Well, I mean, it's good. I'm glad he was able to recover from the minus 1,500. I mean, that was
Yeah, it wasn't actually. It was a little bit above 1,500. Q said he was going to shut him down at 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Q said the most he was willing to lose is 15.
I can't find the broker. I just find the demo. I can't find the live.
Did Q say that on his Instagram live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Said the most he's willing to lose is 15, and he was like 15 and some change.
Oh
yeah.
shit!
Yeah, he was close. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Oh no, he got wow.
Gold's dropping back into that.
I didn't take no US 30 trade this week. It's just been horrible.
So much. It just goes like constantly, and then like loves to.
Patience being tested.
Yeah, today has been very, very choppy. I mean, we got that one trade, just very, very. It was a very, very tough trade to get. There was a lot of decision with. Yeah, it was a very, very well timed trade. Other than that, I mean, gold. I mean, there's an opportunity there, but I mean, you would have literally have to fight through. Fight through essentially those barcodes to the left.
Yeah.
Like you would have had to fight through this to get just this. And that's tough. But I mean, some people did it, so it's good.
Yeah, you could have a sell swap on this news. 8:15, you would catch 20 pips in like 1 second.
Yeah.
I still think there's going to be room for this to move in one direction going into this evening's decision. It looks like it wants to push up. I mean,
yes.
If you look back in time for the last rate decision, it rallied into the decision. Obviously, we had the cut and then it dropped.
Yes. Yeah, big time.
Well, it spiked up first, then it dropped. If you remember.
Yes.
It's always the way.
So yeah, we could see a bit of a rally going into the sort of later trading day.
We're just stuck at that 1491, 1492 area. If you look at the higher time frames, we're really stuck there. Like it keeps returning there, so it'll be interesting to see how the news plays out this afternoon.
Like you said, it could spark up as far as 97 or something, and quite easily come back from there.
Yeah.
Yep, ain't no rush.
It's nice though.
9:30 yet. I thought it was past 9:30.
No, we're early right now. It's been very quiet. We worked hard today, actually.
Yeah, man. I'm done. I'm working.
Yeah, there was a lot of work done.
Yeah. When did you log into this account?
When do you guys clocks change?
This weekend.
Okay.
Long time ago, Devor.
Because we're 5 hours behind.
I didn't hear you. Please repeat.
Long time ago.
Yeah, but where did you log into this account? I'm just asking that.
You go to your MT4.
Yeah.
You log into trade account.
Yeah, I entered the quote live, entered the login and the password, and I can't log in. So
I think you should retype the password. You might have typed it in wrong.
yeah, I've tried 3 or 4 times. I just want to see this guy's trades. It's hilarious.
So,
I don't think you could copy and paste the password.
oh, Devor, you're right. I'm missing a little X there. 1 second.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Hey, who's blowing the count there?
Oh, I'm playing with the demo. Full margin buys on gold, not gold, GJ. Trying to do what?
Hey, Devor, the better thing might be to do 0.01 lot to practice.
No, I'm just doing this for fun. Oh, I've logged it. Oh. How is he in profits? I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
He made good trades.
Yeah, all he's trading is Wickfield stuff.
No stop loss. 6 loss.
Yeah, he's trading. He has the Wickfield. He trading momentum. It seems like with Wickfields because he always takes this trade at the exact same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I get it, but today, man, not today.
Today's a risky day. That 6 lot could really cause.
Like because he's in essence, he's hoping for a Wickfield, but he's also buying it at resistance.
Yeah.
So you need like that. You need that volume to get that, and I don't think he's going to get it today.
Hey, today might be the day he goes back down to 2.
As we said earlier, in that confidence bringing up them lot sizes, man, that could soon end real quick, especially in that top loss.
Yeah, and the problem with this trade that he's in, the wick is pretty much already filled.
Yeah.
So he can't.
Well, he's just catching like $200, whether it's 6 lot, 4 lot, 2 lot.
Yeah, but he's now in drawdown like 250.
Yeah, it's gone in drawdown the same amount as well that he's up.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's like sitting watching every hit.
He can't have because he was
every move, like sweating.
I don't know, man, because he was up 1K at one point. He never closed it out, and it reversed all the way back into the red.
I think he was
$90 and $90 he got.
I think he was sleeping, man. Must have been.
No, but I think he put a stop loss in profits after.
Oh,
yeah, he'll lose this. Why doesn't he have a stop loss? Like, this could just pop back down.
Oh, we got Bank of Canada rate decision.
Yeah.
Today as well. I forgot about that.
What's your view on that? Do you still think that's going to end up being a drop, like it to replicate the US previously?
Yeah, Canada always follows the same as the US. So I mean, whatever the US has done previously, Canada will do the same. It's,
Yeah.
we're in the same dippity-doo economy that they are.
About time now, because it's been a while, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're the sun.
Come on, Danny. Average down, Danny.
Oh God. I just don't understand why he didn't get to 7K in one day like he did the first time on demo.
Yeah.
You know why?
What were the lots on the demo? Didn't anyone know?
Well, he opened up multiple positions. He was trading a certain way, and now all of a sudden it's one position, one pair. Yeah. Like I said, it's not a conducive way to trade, and I don't think that the idea behind this challenge was thought out well enough, because of the fact that you're putting people with 1 day or 1 week's worth of results into a live account when we don't have any history on what they've done previously. Anyone can have profitable trades for 1 or 2 days, right? So I just don't think it makes much sense. But I mean, it's working out for him, so I'm hoping it does. I just think that there should have been just a little bit more of a thought process behind it to give people a better chance at succeeding. Not really hurting. You know, you're hurting people in that respect. And I just think that the idea from giving people money like that, there should have just been a little bit more consideration taken. That's all. But if it works out, it works out. I look at probability, and even if you have 5 people, one of those people are going to blow the account. 1 out of 5.
Hope so. Yeah. There's that drop back on GDA's to 200 level as well.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, Ted wasn't he didn't take scalpers, so from what you recall, this guy was like a 1 day thing?
Yeah, it was just 1 day's worth of trades.
Oh wow.
Right, so like that's what I'm saying. So I mean, it's a great marketing tool. It's great to create awareness, but it's not something that is sustainable long term. Like it teaches people the wrong mentality. You know, what you're doing is you're saying to somebody, basically, hey, if you go run today for 10K, like if you run 10 kilometers or 10 miles today, and you can finish it under 30 minutes, next week I want you to run 20K, and I'll buy you a new car. But what you're not saying to people is, everyone can probably run the 10 kilometers or the 10 miles, but how many people are actually trained runners, and what kind of damage are you doing to your body potentially by forcing yourself to do something just to receive a reward? And that's where I see the issue with this opportunity, is you're making people believe that there's a reward here for doing something that, you know, I can open up 20 demo accounts and show you my best one, right? And that's the scary part. And that's the only thing I disagree with is, you know, you're challenging people to do something that they're not used to doing, and that's a risk for failure. Now, what a better opportunity would have been is, hey, over the next month, let me see what you guys can do, and the best results will have the opportunity for the account, because then it would relieve the pressure, but it would also make people make better decisions and not feel that there's a timeline or there's a restriction on what you're doing. So similar to what we're doing with my brokerage, is we're building the incentive campaign, which we're going to roll out once we have our payment processor back out, and we've always said that, is you are rewarded
on your account based on your overall performance, and there's metrics weighted on those performance. So it's not someone who has the best ROI, it's a combination of everything related to that to allow you to get that bonus. So someone who comes in one day and smashes 1,000% isn't going to get the same bonus as someone who's been trading for a month now and only does 20%, because the longevity of the account weighs more on the rate of return. Because anyone can open up a $100 account and spin it to $200 within a day, but can you be sustainable? And that's what I'm doing when we built our formula for the incentive campaign. It was built on a formula based on the longevity of a trader, and the better you do as a trader who's been trading longer in your own account, the more of a reward you're going to receive. So you are being compensated for doing something good. You're not being compensated for gambling. You're being compensated for managing risk, for keeping drawdown low, for increasing your percentage of your portfolio, and based on that, you're going to get a percentage of your account. So if you're trading a $10,000 account, and your metrics work out to be getting a bonus of like 6%, that 6% bonus will be added to $10,000. It won't be added because it won't just be a random number. It won't be like, hey, here's a $50 bonus. It's actually going to be a bonus of the size of your account. So guys that are trading $50,000 or $100,000 accounts, you can end up getting another $5,000 just for free. And yeah, because what it does is it teaches people to manage their accounts properly, but people who are trading small accounts will get a 10% bonus of their account, but it's not something that's outrageous where it doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not going to give away $1,000 for a $100 account, nor am I going to give away $1,000 for a $100,000 account. Like, it doesn't make sense in both respects. It's your bonus should be a percentage of your account, and that bonus will be allowed to be withdrawn. You can trade with it. You can do whatever you want. There's no restriction with it because you completed the task over the month. And that's how I built everything, because traders should be rewarded for doing good, not for gambling. And that's how I've always structured my brokerage, and that's how I'm continuing to structure it, is to reward profitable traders and keep them pushing and keep them going.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, Ted, like people open accounts in a day, try and flip it to 300% in 3 days, and then it's just...
God, man, that's not me. I'll make like maybe
it's a fast.
2 a day. I think 0.2%, maybe 0.5 if I'm lucky in a day. That's my... Well, I don't really have a target, to be fair. It's in a percentage gain a day, but I'd like to get to a certain level by the end of the week. But not to chase it, but just slow and steady, man. I would actually just post some on Instagram, actually, which shows what I do. I just have a chart, and that's it.
Yeah, like it took me a year of just like steady gains to get to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
But then every other day, someone would come along and do 300% in a day and knock me off.
Right.
Yeah, so I was just like, for fuck's sake. But then I opened a massive lot on the account and fucked it in 1 day.
Good boy. That's the way.
Unknowingly. So now I'm in recovery, trying to build it back up again.
Yeah, dude. That's the way. Thing is, you can do it, because I've been consistent for a while now, but it's not as if I'm making like 5, 10, 15% a day or something. I'm nowhere near that level.
Yeah, no, I'll get it back, but
it's
just going to take a while.
0.1, 0.2, 0.3% a day for a year, that's no bother.
Yeah. I've had people messaging me about my copy trade account, and I'm like, well, if you're going to join up, now's the time, because
you're
building it back up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, like people, I've used the copy trade, and when you look at other people, it's like you diversify. If you diversify your funds, it does become very lucrative, because you'll catch people, like you said, like yourself, that'll that'll move on the upswing, and then you just sort of take profits at that point. Like the biggest problem, and it's funny because there's always a lesson to be learned. The biggest problem that I've seen with leaderboard accounts has been, obviously people run them up, but the people that are following never take profit.
Yeah.
like people will do like 1,100%, 1,000%, 500%, and the people that are following never take profit. And it's always very interesting to see that respect where it's like, hey, why not take a bit every day? Like after you see that you've paid commissions, why not take a percentage and throw that into like your savings account, like open another trading account and put it there. And it's people constantly just want that like rags to riches story, and it doesn't happen. Yeah, like it you know, like there's people that made like, you know, there's some traders that had done like 2,000%, and these guys have ran accounts up from, you know, like $1,000 to $20,000, and the investment accounts have run up too, and then they blow up, and then it's like the investors are angry and they're like, well, you know, like I lost all my money. It's like, but you had like 5x return. Like, what were you looking for?
Yeah, I have a similar issue sometimes. Yeah. But the thing is that people in them, that you're still in control of your funds.
Yes.
To an extent, so it's you still need to manage your investment. So it's like you need to say, oh, I'm up so much. It's not, you know, let's plan ourselves a little bit or whatever. Yeah, I've had it before. People complain.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing when people complain about a loss or something. Like, man, you're not doing anything for this money that I'm making.
And the thing is, I always come back with the whole thing about, especially here, with a banking interest over a year. So say, I don't know what I'm up at, maybe about 70% of the year. That's like, God knows, you only get like 3% a year gain in a bank or something. And then you might lose 5%.
Like my account was up something like, I don't know, 50% for the year or something like that.
Yeah.
And some guys like complaining about, you know, a down week or something. I'm like,
yes, I get it all the time, dude.
Like, the account's up 50% for the year. Like, what more do you want from me?
That's it. That's so tough to take because I'm like, man, I'm working my nuts off to an extent. Well, not, I'm still working, and it's like, how can you complain that you made over 60% this year, and that's like any commission they've had to pay or whatever? And it's like, man, you made like 60%, and that's like, add that up in years, how long you take to give that. If you left 10 grand in your bank, for example, how long would it take to get 60%? It's like, I lost 4%. That was it. It's like, God damn it. It's annoying. But like you said, you've got to manage, from an investor point of view, you need to manage your funds. Like Ted said about diversifying what you do. You can't just leave it and go, oh yeah, there we go, I've made this much.
Yeah, I think too with that, I think as the internet gets a little bit more cautious or conscious of Forex, as the communities grow and as people start regurgitating smart ideas, I notice like a lot of people are starting to copy like Rakeel's ideas or my ideas, and I don't have anything wrong with that. I don't really care. It's now disseminating through the general public, so now people are a little bit more cautious. People are starting to understand a little bit more about the risk to reward, about the journey, about, you know, the process, and that is starting to help things. Because I think like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was like the wild, wild west. I mean, there was obviously people still preaching that, but now it's becoming more and more on the forefront. Like people are talking more about the mental aspect, rather than, you know, like, hey, here's some candlesticks, here's some metrical pattern and things like that. So I think as times change, there's going to be more and more information that's going to help people.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's definitely going down that way. It's just, there's a lot less of the whole come join me, subscribe stuff. We still see it because we search for it, to be fair. I don't think there's as much as there was, but that's just my opinion. Just things, I don't really do an awful lot of social media stuff, to be fair. Instagram's sort of kind of a new thing for me, but
yeah,
I don't follow half the people you lot do.
Yeah.
But I did used to see it all the time, you know, like them related ads and stuff, and it's like, man, it's stuff. I like the chart setup. New charts. This is like open rates. I've already just done this after I bought a new screen.
Gold's rejected that level again.
Yeah.
talked about, I think we're going to start seeing a bit of a push to the upside on gold.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a bit of a chunk to be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the stream open here. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna leave it open for the CAD interest rates.
Thanks, man.
Alright, Rakeel, what are you doing today?
I'm gonna do legs.
Nice.
Legs and biceps.
Yeah, get that testosterone pumping.
Yeah, well, actually, legs and arms. I skipped yesterday. My son was sick, so we couldn't go. So,
yeah, I've been this morning. Feeling good?
Feeling amazing, yeah.
I'm on cake day today.
I'm eating
cake day, nice.
Yeah,
man. I've not had any sugar for the whole of.
Actually, to be fair, I've been good this week.
October.
Nice.
I posted about Reese's things.
I had that yesterday.
And I was like, man, there's some sweets. I was like, what's the sweets?
You put gold on 1 hour. Oh man. I don't even want to comment about that.
Just choked.
I don't even want to comment. Someone just turned around and asked, "Can you put gold on the 1 hour?"
Someone turned around in their seat
my God.
and they asked, "Can you put the 1 hour chart on, please?"
Can you put the 1 hour chart on gold, please? Sure. Open your eyes.
What are they looking at?
Maybe his eyelashes are too big and he can't see.
Like honestly, like do people not even look at what they're watching?
Oh, USD CAD.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Now you can't say it's a typo, you know?
Yeah, exactly. How can you say that's a typo?
Is USD CAD news in 20 minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's going to be a dud today.
Oh, I don't know.
There you go. I got the hour charts on both. There's no way that was a mistake. There's no way.
Gold and USD CAD are not typo.
That's right. You can't type that and then say like.
I mean, typing gold and USD CAD are two different things.
Like the keyboard's not even connected. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you would be able to. Oh, okay, maybe if you started with the X and the C, but the U starts with USD CAD starts with a U.
Maybe it's voice activation or something.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
could have been a typo, as in like he was thinking USD CAD but said gold, you know.
Also correct.
I mean, there's 1,000 what ifs.
Welcome to the roasted YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's it. When we're done trading, we're going to get it.
We don't let you get away with anything here.
There is a course aspects how to laugh.
I was wrong, but I don't understand the big deal. No, there's no big deal. Like you have to understand. Sometimes we like to have fun.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, we're joking.
holy cow!
We've done some hard work already. So
Yeah.
we need to let it
Sometimes it's
out.
good just to joke around and just have a good time.
You didn't take everything too seriously.
He still did it for you, didn't he? So I mean, when you think about it, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you go through. It still got done. You still got your request put in.
You got your wish. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got moved to the hour. You know, it's all good.
You got any good plans today, Ted?
I gotta go get all my winter tires put on, so I gotta do 2 runs.
Oh,
I
yeah,
gotta I got a Porsche at 11 o'clock, and then Tesla I got at like 1:30.
What? Man, you still got time. You got like 2 more months.
Oh yeah, no, but I always put them on. I don't want to go through, because if you don't do it, like with Porsche, they do the install and they do the storage for my tires, and I just rather get it out of the way, because as soon as it snows once, then there's a mad crush.
Yeah.
You get to the dealership, so.
And it's nice.
That's exactly what my neighbor told me yesterday, and he's white. And I'm like,
yeah, because you brown people can't drive. That's what we have to put our tires on.
We wait till the very end.
Like, is there a date that we need to get the winter tires on for like a winter tire thing for insurance?
I don't think so. I think as long as you tell your insurance company in advance, I think they're the ones that do the analysis on that, and they'll tell you by this time.
Oh, you guys have to sell your insurance when you change?
You get a discount.
You have to do it.
No, you don't have to, but you get a discount, and
like right now in like where I live, we get like mountains of snow anyways, and I mean I just do it. Like I wouldn't, like my Porsche has 22-inch wheels on it, so I wouldn't want them going through the snow, and my Tesla has 21-inch. So I mean I just do it because the tires are way too big for the winter.
Have you ever thought about just getting like a spare set, a different style?
Oh yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So I have a full new set. So on the Tesla, I do 19-inch, and they're plus.
Get you.
And then with the Porsche, we just I got the dealership to order me a new set with rim and tire.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's what I thought it made a hell of a lot more sense.
Hey, you know the dealership tax is like another a few hundred at least, man, just for nothing. Like you could get
I know.
tire at a different spot.
I know, but I know a Porsche guy, so it's okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because they did rims and tires for me for $4,000. And those are the 19-inch the Porsche, the actual Porsche wheels, not the Steelies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't put Steelies on those.
So you
Oh,
guys
yeah,
get
of course
proper
not.
snow, you get like proper snow there then, like deep stuff, because we get like 2 inches and that's the end of the world here.
Oh yeah, we get a lot.
Yeah, I mean the whole world
Yeah,
stops in England. If you get like an inch of snow, you can't go to work.
There goes gold.
Yeah, gold been blank.
This 4 hours going to close. Is it going to break that resistance?
It's an interesting place.
Keeps bouncing off of 1492 like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it did the same thing last week, though, didn't it? So that area. Excuse me.
Don't care about your phony car stories. It's not really phony.
It's just cool. Stop it. Stop lying.
Wow. The haters are live today, man.
It's the same guy. Keeps making new accounts. Get a better pitch.
Hey, Papa, hold on. Oh, sorry, guys.
Get a better pitch, okay?
What are you selling, Ted?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to figure out.
What do you do about your grass in the winter? Do you get it?
So the grass, I put on. There's a fall weeding feed, or like a fall feeding that you put over, and then over the winter that should hold it. And then in the spring again, you'll just do another feeding to strengthen the root base again.
I didn't know because you guys get so much. We're not used to that type of stuff. We're not.
Yeah.
Snow that bad. It just frost up a bit there.
Okay, yeah. So we do that. Ted, do a lot of people have Porsche there? I'm in Switzerland, and Porsche is nothing special here anymore. Yeah, in my neighborhood, everybody has a luxury car. It's just the area that I live in. Everyone drives a BMW, Mercedes, or Porsche. It's just
not allowed in without one.
Yeah, it's just weird though, because like honestly, when I go to the mall, like you literally park beside, like I'll go to the gym before I go out again, and I'll literally be parking beside BMWs. Like it's just common occurrence now in my area. Would buy stops be valid at $14.95? I don't know what your target price is, so I can't tell you if they would be valid.
Yeah, it depends where you're aiming.
Yeah. Could you say something on that? I don't know, because I don't know how to read TradingView. We need Raja to open those charts. So I'm sorry, I can't do those chart opening things. Which area am I from? I'm from Toronto, but north of the city, in the suburbs. Do you think Porsche is worth it over BMW? So the only reason why I got Porsche instead of the BMW was because the 2019 Porsche got redesigned. Otherwise, I wouldn't have purchased it if it didn't get redesigned.
Yeah, man. Porsche. Well, I'd take a Porsche over a BMW any day.
Yeah.
Well, originally the BMW actually was looking at the winner. I was looking at BMW as a winner for my SUV, or Range Rover. But then when Porsche had the redesign, that sort of trumped it.
I don't like the interiors of BMW. They're too plasticky looking and cheap.
Yeah. Well, I think the new ones now have the bigger screen and stuff like that on that.
Yeah.
Especially the 5 Series. The 5 Series.
Yeah, the 5 Series is nice. Yeah.
But I've always like.
No, the M5 rather.
I used to be a Mercedes guy, and I'd take. Yeah, before I got my Mercedes, I looked at BMWs as well, but the interior compared to a BMW interior wise is just no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because the maintenance on the Porsche is every 15,000 kilometers. It's like $1,200 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So you take out like a
service
plan.
Yeah, so they allow you to purchase the plan up until the point you get your first service done. You save 25% basically. So I'll purchase it. It's like 3,500 or whatever. Or the.
I was going to do that with the Range Rover, but they basically said because these new cars they don't need servicing like they used to. So if you don't do that many miles, so like the first service isn't due till like 10,000 miles.
That's right.
And if you that might take some people a year and a half, 2 years to do. So
yeah, it's always based on
worth buying the package, the service package.
Really, no. Our package is based on the number of services you do. It's not based on the mileage.
Oh no! So this was done. So this was you basically pay like a monthly fee.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So that when the service is due, you don't pay like a massive chunk.
Kind of like paid for it, and it kind of covers the whole, unless it's extra work or something.
Yeah, so you're kind of paying for it just monthly instalments rather than getting a bill for whatever £1,500 or whatever come the service. But what they're saying is because your service is potentially 2 years away, you're not saving any money by doing it that way.
Yeah, that's so that's the difference with Porsche. What they do is you can buy the service plan for the number of services that you require for the car. So over 3 years, you would essentially probably need every 6 months or like I guess not every 3 years, but every 15,000 kilometers you would need a service. So what they do is that they do them in packages. So you can buy 6 service packages for like $4,000. So you end up saving 25%, and every time you come into the service center, you use it at that point. So like they give you it, like for lack of better terms, a stamp.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, man, we get ripped up for everything.
Yeah, because I'm in the same boat. I don't do enough miles. To do 10,000, 15,000 kilometres, and what's that? It's about 12, isn't it? Yeah. It took me a year to do that. I would have thought. Probably more.
Can you explain CAD rates and how that affects the markets? Well, CAD rates will affect all CAD pairs, and more than likely the rates will probably move, I think, or stay the same.
Oh yeah, you expecting a cut?
They should cut, and if they do, that'll sort of drown the dollar.
I think it's due myself, but you guys know better.
Oh, if they cut the rates, USD CAD is going to fly.
Yeah. I do believe that they're supposed to cut the rates.
It just makes sense because if the US are going to do it again, they can't be too behind, if that makes sense. I don't think they can be 2 rate cuts behind. It wouldn't make sense to be.
Oh, CAD is already 2 rate cuts behind.
That's what I mean. So potentially 3, wouldn't it? That's what I mean. So I can't see it being further. So I'd expect them to do it because the US are going to do it again soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's the end of the year too, so I don't know what that means for the rates.
I can't see it going again without it being changed.
Yeah, it's going to be cut. All the newspapers are talking about it being cut.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what it doesn't weigh up right, especially if the US are going to do it again. That essentially means you guys are
the biggest Canadian newspaper has just talked about it.
Cool.
Yeah, I read this newspaper in Canada, so
it's always interesting to see stuff like that. Yeah, but I can't see you ended up being like 3 rate cuts behind.
That's right.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
US is not cutting rates. Well, if US doesn't cut rates, Trump is going to cut someone's job today. If the US doesn't cut rates. Trump's gonna send a tweet straight to the feds. Someone's getting fired.
I don't think rates will be cut for today for Canada. I think they are. They said they're supposed to be. Scotiabank predicted that they're going to be October 30th and again in the first quarter of 2020.
Oh no, this was Iron Man talking about the U.S. rates.
No. Someone Ray was talking that they might not cut it.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
Hey Ted, is it the Globe and Mail that's Canada's largest newspaper?
I read the Financial Post. I like reading that more than the Globe and Mail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Financial Post has always been a little bit better with their news. Because Globe and Mail is more just a general news. Financial Post has always been more related to the market.
And that's only a Canadian one?
Yeah.
A lot of options on there to read. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it seems like we would support a rate cut with the way that the dollar's dipped right now today on the USD CAD. Based on structure, we bounced off of 130, 1.30 as support. I mean, rate cut would probably bounce it back up until 132, which would normalize everything. How do Canadians feel about USMCA? I need a little bit more context. I don't know what that is, sorry. Interest rate cut or no change will weaken the affected currency. Well, no change usually does. CAD rate cut means a weaken. It should. I mean, once again, if you guys are having problems understanding rate cuts, what you can do is you can go into Google and you can say, what does a rate cut do to currency? And what happens is the first thing that comes out is basically this answer here. It doesn't let me fit everything in. So this is what is that's what comes out in the answer. So it's always good to just type in the question. The new trade deal between U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Yeah, Canada hates it. It's not a good deal for Canada. They think it is, but a lot of people don't like that. The government likes it, but the Canadians don't, or the actual people that are part of that are not happy with that.
You guys make enough soybeans. That's just random, I know, but
yeah, we're a resource-based country. Yes.
I didn't realise there's so many.
Yeah, commodities country.
Yeah. I was just looking at the farming side. Yeah, it's massive.
What don't they like about it? It's because we basically get squeezed. We're getting squeezed in a lot of spots. So the producers of the resources are getting squeezed, but the government likes it because they were able to get it through. That's all.
What happened in the elections, Ted?
Nothing.
As expected, or?
Yeah, minority government for the Liberals.
So is that Justin, what's his face again?
Yeah, Trudeau, yeah, it was as expected.
Okay.
Nothing's really changed, has it? So.
How come no one's talking about putting a buy stop above $14.95? Because nobody wants to trade gold at this point because of the cuts later on.
Plus, we've already traded. It was plenty.
Don't call a man your uncle who ain't your uncle. Okay. Well, he's just probably just responding to my name in the chat. That's all. God, don't call Iron Man because he's not made of iron. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
He can fly though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. Actually, the Canadian news will have an impact. Not that I trade oil, but I'll have an impact on oil too, won't it?
Mm-hmm. I think a buy stop above 131 may make sense for USD CAD.
Stop it, man. Don't say stuff like that.
Black box trading is not really black. Oh, shit. I guess you gotta change your username too.
That's a good one.
Jeez. Iron Man is now identifying as an Iron Man. That's fine. We now identify Iron Man as an Iron Man. Very cool.
That's loud.
Yeah.
Equal opportunities and all.
That's right.
We've got to be PC.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So I think I'm gonna put a buy stop above 131, 100. I think I'll see what'll happen in the next 5 minutes, but
it makes sense to be fair. But
yeah, because I mean I like what Raj has done here on his screen. Basically going from 131, 100 to 131, 200, and then basically 131, 700, which would make sense because then if then later on it'll pull back in the afternoon with the FOMC.
All right.
Do you have buy stops on gold? If yes, where? Nope, I don't have any buy stops on gold. We're trading USD CAD right now.
Well, Ted is.
Yeah,
we never trade USD CAD.
Yeah.
You know there's no we in here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to make an attempt at USD CAD. I think that we're going to cut rates, and that's going to shoot the US dollar. That's going to strengthen the US dollar against the Canadian dollar.
Sona, you still there?
Yeah.
You want a trip to Toronto?
You are?
You want to go on holiday?
Yeah, I'm definitely going out at some point.
Well, I'm going in February if you're around.
Okay. Isn't Rakeel planning on coming here?
Oh, that'll be awkward.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still in the works.
So I think Rakeel's planning on coming here around that time. So.
Oh, have you? Oh.
Yeah, I think a buy stop at 1.3150. 1.31050 on USD CAD. And then sell stop below support. Oh, wow, what's this?
Yeah, you guys have to remember when you're trading the news with buy stops or sell stops, the idea is your buy stop gets activated and the news continues to go on. So you shouldn't be looking to place a stop loss with a buy stop because this news is very volatile. It should continue moving in the direction of the stop that you've placed. Like when people ask me that question, like, why don't I have a stop loss? It's like, well, I'm not expecting it to whipsaw to go up to like 1.31, 170 and then drop all the way back down again. I'm not expecting that. And I'm trading it with myself sitting here. So I will be managing the trade and then I'll input a stop loss once the buy stops got activated. Because if my buy stop doesn't get activated, then there's no trade, right? So I don't need a stop right now. I don't need a stop loss right now because I'm not expecting it to whipsaw up. And in the next minute or so, if it does start to creep up, I'll probably remove my buy stop because that's not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting us to have the market move up that high right a minute or two before the news. That's sort of what it comes down to. My buy stop once again is at 131, 100 for UCAD.
Yeah, I've just got a feeling this is going to be a total dud with the Fed going on later.
I don't have a sell stop. I don't want a sell stop. I'm taking an opportunity to see if I can catch this news. If I can't, then I'm just going to the gym. I'm not looking, if I make money off this, great. If I don't, I'm not too concerned. This is not part of my trading plan. This is just an extra because it's an easy opportunity if the market does move pretty hard.
Yes. Oh, Danny is fucking up right now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Alright.
Chill.
Alright. Buy stop.
20 seconds. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
I really enjoy watching this.
1.3. 1050. Oh,
there we go.
Activated.
Good luck. At resistance needs to go.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Oh, 10 pips. 12.
Yep. I'm out.
Very nice. Yeah.
Good work, gentlemen.
Got it. And more.
Yep, got it too. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, I didn't jump on.
Oh, it looks an only one. Wait, did they cut the rates? What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, about the news. Yeah.
Oh,
no, they didn't cut anything.
Oh.
Yeah, they stayed the same, so now it's
Stay the same, yeah.
Not messed up.
Alright.
Well, at least we gave a good buy stops.
Yeah. There we go. Everybody made.
Well,
Now sell it.
Yeah, now sell it, yeah. Not buy it, now sell it. No, I was too disciplined.
Target was achieved. That's all I went for the target that Raja picked. I'm like, alright, makes sense.
That was a good call, to be fair.
I got slipped by maybe 3 pips.
Yeah, I didn't get slipped at all. I just went right through it as it came up.
No, nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, actually, no, I got slipped. Yeah, I got in at
that direct feed though. Remember?
Yeah, it just a matter of fun.
Well, actually, I got activated at 131, 103 instead of 131, 100. So I got slipped 0.3 pip.
That's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, because I didn't have it that low, so as it moved up, it just started to push right through that.
Yeah, like I said, when you get the news, if you're expecting to continue, it should continue. So that's the whole. Yeah. If you're right tight, you're bound to get jammed a bit. But that's good work.
Yep. Easy move.
That gives them spending money for some more Reese's on the way out later.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, whoever caught this move on the stream, give a like on the stream. It's excellent. Nicole T, good morning everyone. Nicole is late to the class.
Oh, actually, West Coast, that's why. West Coast.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so now let's go to the gym.
I talked to Nicole at about 3:30 her time earlier, and then she went for a nap.
The super target. I want to see if Raja's super target gets it.
Super target would be pretty cool. Bonus money. Bonus money.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty easy. Not gonna complain about that.
Oh man, that's closer to him.
Always everyone asking, how about this, how about that? There's no such thing as how about anything.
Get some interesting questions.
Yep.
Go. So, do you trade that as well?
Nope. Oh, fuck. I was just literally about to hit the gold buy, and look what just happened.
I was just watching it.
Literally about to click the button, for fuck's sake.
Bad timing, dude. That would have been a very, very good entry.
20 pips in a second.
Dude, don't. It'll come back there.
What was that spike?
I'm not sure. Well, it's just like the 5 minute, I suppose, the start. But... Is it? Oh, hang on. Can you see?
No, it spiked up and pulled back down again.
No, might just be like creating a... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just saw it again.
Yeah.
Oh, good thing you didn't take a trade, Simon, because it just pulled right back and crushed you.
Yeah. No.
Don't play with that.
Jeez, it literally just smashed up and down. Now it's going. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's tomorrow's game. Don't play that today, man.
This super target's going to be achieved though. Raja's super target is still going.
Yeah, gold's mad.
What the hell, gold?
Unless there's some tweets or something going out, it can't just be that new, surely, because that's really delayed.
Let me check. I have Donald Trump.
Have a word with him.
On the hotline.
Ted can ring the market makers and then
No tweets.
Jay's playing games too. It dipped all the way down, so it dropped out of that liquidity area and then pulled all the way down. So that's actually a pretty good move. So people that were looking to sell GJ, if they got in, they would have had a nice sell.
Oh,
because
right down to 140, yeah.
Yeah, because it removed it. It bounced away from that level. Because remember we were talking earlier about that. Like if it does pull down, it dropped, and now it's rejecting that area. So I think buys above 250 again will probably be valid.
Well, yeah, I've been watching, well, because it's on the 15, this is where it created its first support of the day, kind of, at 40, at 100-ish, and then it went up to 2 something, so it's come all the way back down to there. This is kind of where I took, well, a little bit lower than where that's where I took an entry with 900 as my stop, so, for a bit of a longer term hold, but I won't be doing that now.
Chile cancels planned Apex summit in November. When you're talking about Chile the other day, Ted?
Yeah.
That's where they're having the summit, right? There was some.
Well, they've just cancelled it apparently. So.
Oh, okay.
That might have been that spike. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Trump and Z were supposed to meet, right, to sign phase 1 trade deal there.
That's right. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, they're supposed to meet
that's
November 17th. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they just canceled it. Oh wow. Jesus. Forget it. This is
like gold. No.
This is stupid. Like Forex is stupid. Can't trade Forex anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, quit. Should we quit?
This is just too dumb. It's on, it's off, it's on. Like, how about you guys just show up to the country that you live in and do the trade talk there?
I mean, sure, yeah, exactly. Surely they can meet somewhere else. They don't have to wait for a summit.
Yeah, like, I mean, literally, either go to China and sit in the Chinese area for like a week and then come back to the United States and sit. Like, that's all you have to do. I don't understand this neutral territory crap. Like, who really cares? I mean, because I understand the whole premise of it is you want a neutral party or a neutral section, but think about it this way: you're trying to build an agreement between two countries. What does it sound like when you're trying to do the agreement in a neutral country? It already sounds like you're trying to screw each other over anyways. Like that's sort of how I feel with that is, like if you actually cared, you'd be like, hey, we'll come wherever you need us to come so that we can get this done. When you start grandstanding, it just seems like you don't want to make a deal anyways, or you want to posture enough to think that you're bigger. Like, it's a bunch of egos. Like, it's just really weird. But I mean, I don't know. And oh yeah, by the way, see the USD CAD, the reason why we didn't have a stop, you notice how it just continued to go. So now if you're still in the trade, this is where you would start to place your stop, and you would say, okay, I'm going to place my stop over here or over there.
That's the reason why we didn't have a stop loss with the buy stop, because it just ripped right through. This is the perfect scenario that, you know, when you turn around and you take a buy stop over here as an example, you see that there's no retracement. It just kept going. So the idea here is at this point now you'll start managing your trade. So if you got to this target and you're still holding, this would be your stop loss. So what you would do is you'd place your stop loss right over here, and then this is all bonus. And when you're managing this bonus, you have to say to yourself, okay, from here to here, what am I comfortable taking profit with? Maybe a little bit more here, maybe a little bit more here. And as you keep going, the issue becomes, when you start looking at your profit taking, is that this move more than likely will start to correct very shortly. So maybe you reach a top. So what you would do is you would look on the higher time frames and you would say, okay, you know, based on the 4 hour, we're coming to a sort of a resistance level. Maybe this is the top of what I need to get. Looking at a daily structure, we're coming into a daily zone, the top of a daily zone. So this is why, you know, I might exit at that point. And the question keeps arising, because the Canadians didn't change interest rates, why did US get stronger? It's because when you don't have a change in interest rates, or you have a reduction in interest rates, that is telling us that the economy is not doing anything special. It's not doing anything different than it's already been doing. So that's weak for the economy.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to. Yeah. This is where, when you talk about how you don't need to go to school to learn how to trade, this is a perfect example why you have to stay in school so you can learn how to trade. Because this is why you need to take economics in class, so that you understand these decisions and how these decisions affect currency and economies. So anyone who tells you that you don't need to learn how to go, you don't need to get an education or get a finance degree or a university degree to trade, this is a perfect reason why you do need a finance degree, because you're asking questions that a finance degree would give you the answer to. So when someone tells you, who is a trader, that says, I don't need to go to school, you tell them, I need to go to school because I didn't know how interest rates affected a currency pair, and finance class would teach me that. And that's, you turn around and you say that that's the reason why. Or you can go to the library, or you can go to a free economics course online, yes, but you still need an education. That is part of education. Actually reading and learning something is education. The fact that you may not get a degree, you're going to read everything related to that degree, so I don't know why you just wouldn't get the degree. That's sort of like learning how to become a mechanic and not getting a certification and saying, well, I can fix cars, and then someone says, well, do you have a certification? You're like, no, but I can still fix cars. I mean, you know everything about that. Why don't you just take 2 hours, write the test, and get a certification? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
With interest rates, a lot of it's to do with outlook, isn't it? It's a lot of a future outlook. So it's not really, because of no change, there's no positivity really.
That's right.
Yeah, like today's interest rate, everyone knows they're going to cut. They're not. Markets are looking to see what they say in regards to, you know, Q1 next year. Are they thinking
exactly that
there's going to be another cut? Or I'm pretty confident they're going to obviously cut today, and then they're not really going to say much about what they're planning to do. They're going to say,
they'd be wise not to.
Powell's very good at not answering questions.
Yeah, he's good.
He will just say, you know, data dependent, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. They'd be wise not to mention anything for future of Q1 now anyway. Because basically everyone will just talk about it between now and then. And it's always an off-cuff remarks that create massive issues.
yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym now. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some food.
Yeah, I think I'll go and have a coffee. I think, and then
Come back for the fireworks later. I think.
Yep.
Have some fun.
Yeah, I'll come and have a
Thank you so much, Dad.
Yeah, no problem.
Good fun, boy. Enjoy that.
I do still think gold's going up though, by the way. Just saying.
We should leave it alone.
It's based off my theory from earlier, but anyway, I'm gonna go.
Alright, man. Okay, gold later on.
Okay, guys. Take care. Have fun.
Cheers, Roger Coleman.
Oh, we shall see you all later. Before FOMC, half an hour before.